All right, we are live. Hey, look, we're on the welcome to the 411 Sports World Network on YouTube. That is 411, as you can see right there on this sweatshirt here. Sports World Network on YouTube. I am your host, Mr. 411. We do bring you the sports content. We also bring you content off the field as well, and definitely do that. And usually with me on those type of topics is Hot Tub Tony, and he is here today. Hot Tub Tony, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
That's all. Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, look, man, glad to have you on Hot Tub. Hey, people are in the chats right now. Jason Ewing, what is going on? What's up? We appreciate you. He's bringing the love. Hey, we love back to you. Shannon Ewing, what's up? And yes, hello, hello, hello. All right, she says hello to everybody.
What's going
Man,
on?
it is on and popping. Go ahead,
Usually
Hot Tub.
building.
Absolutely. And look, we're going to talk about uh the presidential race and everything. You know, Donald Trump is now, well, he's the president elect, and we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about it about possibly how did he win, the effects from it, what's going to happen next, and a big shout out to Think Mega TV. What's up? And
Welcome,
hey,
welcome.
all of you guys. Yeah, and all of you, I'm gonna follow you all back. Make because I know you guys are following us, and I want to return that favor. So, make sure to do that today. So I'm following you guys' channels as well. All right, but yeah, we're gonna talk about the fallout from it. What we think, the issues of what who's gonna tackle the issues? Are they gonna take care of business? What's next? And we'll get into all that. We're also gonna talk about the black male vote because there's a lot of discussion about that. So I can't wait to hear what Hot Tub has to say about that. Everybody, please feel free to comment all night, all day. We will respond to them. We will post them, and we want to get your thoughts as well. Hot Tub, anything you want to say before we get rolling?
Yeah, I want you to go ahead and drop that link for Think Mega. When we get rolling, we're gonna get him to jump on as well as Roadblock when he gets in.
Okay,
Um,
absolutely.
First off, I'm gonna give my thoughts before we get right into it. The shit show is over, finally over. I know everybody's glad. You can stop being mad at your friends and family, your relatives, and everything.
Yeah.
Now the real work begins. The onus is on Donald Trump to prove everybody wrong. I personally set it out this year. I'll be the first one to tell you that. But we got Think Mega in here. He's a Trump supporter, and I respect him for that. He took a hard line stance. He took a lot of abuse from a lot of people, as well as I did. And we all sat back on Tuesday and watched just a landslide. It wasn't even close. And what we saw was a refutation of the Democrats and their agenda, the policies of the Biden Harris administration. They ran the absolute worst campaign in campaign history, and also the most expensive campaign in the history of presidential elections in the United States. This by far was the most expensive, more than $1.5 billion spent on a losing effort. You threw all the might of Hollywood and everything in this for a loss. And what can we take out of that? Well, number one, money don't win elections. Celebrities don't win elections. Policies win elections. And when you have unpopular policies with an unpopular president and a failing economy, that's a recipe for disaster. People vote their wallets first. They vote their
Yes, sir.
first. All of the issues with abortion, that's not going to win you elections, Democrats. And this is a time that the Democrats need to sit back and do some self reflecting on why they lost. But as we're seeing, they're not looking at actual reality. They're making up reality as they go along, as they always have. So, with that being said, I want to get some feedback from some other voters if we can. So, if Think
Yeah.
Megan's still here, we're going to bring him on up. And then when Roadblock comes in, we bring him on up.
Absolutely. All right, way to set the table. We're going to get a couple of credits rolling through real quick. We're also going to play a video we'll play that one. Well, we'll play video number 2, and then we come back on the other side of that. Then we'll dive into that discussion. In the meantime, I'll drop the line during that. Okay.
All right.
Y'all want to know why she lost? I'm going to tell you why she lost. The Democratic Party literally had the worst marketing strategy in history. Like, I saw this loss coming like a mile away. He's racist. He's racist. He's racist. Your candidate is a woman. This country's far more sexist than racist. Far more. So there's that group of people that are just automatically going to vote the other way. Then you lost the plot completely with black people. I haven't seen pandering this tacky since Hillary Clinton pulled that hot sauce out of her bag. You had Joe Biden on his first campaign talking about if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. Who the fuck? Kamala done turned her freaking rallies into the BET Awards. You got Meg Thee Stallion twerking on stage, Glorilla on stage bleeping out every other word of her song because she can't even rap her actual lyrics. Then completely lost the plot with women. You got penises swinging around kids' locker rooms and women's locker rooms. People who identified as a man yesterday and identify as a woman today are whooping women's asses in sports. Women having to encounter penises and testosterone in situations that were once sacred to them. Add that to the fact that y'all originally showed up with the same candidate who we watched falling all over himself in the street, slurring his words and losing his train of thought mid-fucking press conference. And y'all still picked him, although y'all had Kamala as vice president at the time, which means even y'all knew she wasn't going to win this. But y'all threw her in the game fourth quarter anyway. Then you got the everyday Democrat thinking they could bully people into voting their way, which is actually turning people off and running people out of the party. Mind you, election happened while everybody's hungry and broke. Rent was just due. Mortgages was just due. It's after the first, and we've been under this leadership for 4 years, so it feels like this because of them. Then the Republicans keep stopping us. We can't get anything done because Republicans keep stopping us. So what's the point of voting for you if you can't get nothing done? Y'all gave Donald Trump a freaking Supreme Court seat when y'all let Ruth Bader Ginsburg die at damn near 100 years old in the freaking Supreme Court. It's very, very clear the Democratic Party has just been raw dogging it through life for a minute. Mind you, I voted Democrat for 16 years straight since Barack Obama's first presidency, but I knew how this was gonna go. And she ain't just lose, she got her ass whooped. I'm talking about when I went and looked at the states, how the states were voting that were remaining, he was going to get over 300 electors. Like, she was getting her ass whooped. It wasn't even a close race. And as much as y'all talk shit about Donald Trump, we talking about a marketing genius. Like, if you watch documentaries about this guy or or research him, the way he came up, the guy's a marketing genius. Like, from putting his last name on everything to marketing himself as a billionaire even before he was a billionaire. Dude been on a political campaign literally, it seemed like, for 40, 50 years. Your party was unprepared, does not understand what the average American's issues are and concerns are, and didn't have a candidate that stood a chance in hell. So it is what it is. And don't try to say it was a specific group that voted for him. No. Every group voted for him because the way the numbers turned out, there's no way he swept like that without the support of everyone, every demographic. Y'all went too.
Wow. Okay. We're back. Hey, and welcome there, Roadblock.
What's good, fellas? What's good?
What's up, Roadblock?
What's good?
Did we drop the link?
Chilling, man.
Waiting on Think Meg to come in.
Yep.
Roadblock.
So the link should be out there.
How you feel about it, man?
I kind of had a feeling this was about to happen. I really did.
Is that Jovan?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Critical thought. What's up, guys?
Hey, I see
what's happening?
Names up.
How you doing?
I knew it was. I figured he was gonna win, but to the extent that he did, bro, I was flabbergasted.
I can tell you right now. Trump got pretty much the same amount of votes that he got last time. He got 71 million votes, around there. Biden got 79 million in 2020. Kamala Harris got 63 million votes.
We didn't show up and vote for her.
Everybody sat on the couch or they voted third party. Nobody voted for her. So they said, I was listening to this one podcast. They said at least a quarter of the electorate did not vote. That people that normally that voted in 2020.
Mm-hmm. The couch is undefeated, bro.
Yep.
Now
Hey, we got another one in the building too. Think Megan's in here too. What's going on?
What up, Hot Tub? What up, Jova? What up, Roadblock? What up, 411?
What's up?
Meg,
Glad to have you in here.
I'm interested to hear Megan's point of view because he unapologetic Trump supporter.
Yeah, I was going hard with the Meg. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Really, I was really trolling because, like, all right, I used to do this thing with like whatever my people are really into, I'm always to do this. Just on go. I'm not a group thinker. I'm gonna go against all this, and I mean, and it's mostly to find what's real. Because I don't agree with group think. Because I mean, in groups, a lot of times people hide in groups. You know what I'm saying? If a group moves a particular way, suckers always hide in groups. So I don't respect groups. So when I see why everybody thinking the same, why everybody gotta think the same, I'm the one that asks questions all the time. I've always been like this. Always been like how you said, Roadblock, when you was like, didn't you say like you was the one when the teacher say Christopher Columbus, you be like, what? He did what? I always ask questions, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I got a tattoo on my hand. You can't see it that good right now, but it's an hourglass with a question mark, and at the bottom is broken, and the question marks is falling out, and it said time is truth. Like over time, your questions get answered. I always had a lot of questions growing up, and over time, I realized that God answered my questions. You know what I'm saying? It don't be when you might want the answer, but you do get the answer though. You know what I'm saying? So, like that was my main thing. All I'm saying is this, man. The woman was rated the worst vice president in American history. So how did she all of a sudden become this? She was supposed to be this great president. That I just couldn't. And then so we just supposed, and I didn't believe the black stuff because I remember when she got announced as the first Indian American senator. Mm-hmm. And then somebody said the reason they didn't say the black is because she wouldn't have been the first black woman. But I said she would have still been the first black Indian. So that don't work. That don't work.
Hey, so I got a question. It's like and it's probably gonna piss a lot of people off. Oh well, my number's still gonna be the same. Call me. You know, it's like it seems like to me on this, there's playing somewhat of identity politics. You know, it's like I got chastised by Barack Obama because I'm not supporting Kamala. I got chastised by Joe Biden because I ain't black. If I don't, you know, do this, I'm getting chastised by this group and that group because I'm not going like you said. I'm not going along with that group thought. That's why I put critical thought up there. I'm voting on my interest, right? Mm-hmm. I'm voting on my positions because, you know, I'm tired of being pimped out by the pastor. You know, we got that poverty pimping and everything else. We've been doing things a certain way for so long that it's just, hey, do this. And what has it gotten me? It hasn't got me anything, or very little. And then it's just like, so to me, it seems like, well, some of her interviews, she wasn't very well versed. You know, she didn't have, I'm not going to say the answers, but some of her responses was kind of canned. You know, she'd start laughing, then talk about, well,
grew up in the middle class.
I worked at McDonald's. I did this. I did that. All right. Yeah, you did that. You did that years ago. You no longer do that stuff. So how are you going to get me to where you're at from where I'm at? I don't care what you did before. Let's talk about right here, right now. How are you going to get me, you know, to raise up? And then again, you know, like the clip you guys just ran, they brought out all these celebrities and everything else to try to sway that vote. I don't care what anyone else is doing. I would rather Roadblock get up there and talk about it and everything else. I can relate to Roadblock. Mm-hmm. Right? Me and Roadblock, we got stuff in common. I can relate to him, right? I can't relate to a millionaire and a person that's not, living the struggle that I'm living, that has access and privilege. Like you said, at one time you was like me. I'm talking about right here, right now. I got to figure out, am I going to put gas in my car to go to work, or am I going to eat? So I mean, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's
People
tough.
people are always gonna vote their wallets above everything else. Above their principles, they're gonna vote their wallet. If people can't eat,
I disagree with you on that, Tony. I
People
mean,
you
vote
don't think
emotionally.
yeah, exactly.
People vote emotionally. They don't vote their wallets.
A lot of people vote emotionally. They're not going to vote their wallets.
I disagree because she brought out a lot of emotion in a lot of people. We saw. I'm pretty sure everybody saw the meltdowns across the internet.
Oh yeah, oh man.
People hollering.
I'll say this. There's no bigger emotion than a follower. There's no emotional person more emotional. There is no person more emotional than a follower.
Yep.
And Trump has the most loyal following of anybody ever run for president. Anybody. Like literally, y'all say, we talk about identity politics. Identity politics is in a Republican Party. It's in the Democrat Party. They do identity politics as well.
It's everywhere. Yeah, I'm not
everywhere. It's everywhere.
They do it in sports teams.
Yeah, they this is not something that's indicative just to the Democrats. This is something that encompasses everyone. So like Jill Stein, she had a dude from what was it? He was a Muslim or something. You know what I'm saying? So you always bring in somebody in that's going to bring a voting block close to you. So when Trump brings out a Tim Scott, or Trump brings out a Byron Daniels, and Trump brings out a Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker has no redeemable qualities as anything other than one of the greatest running backs ever. But there's no reason for him to run for Senate in Georgia. He's a blithering idiot. He's a blithering. There's no reason for him. There's no reason for him. Donald Trump picked him because he was playing identity politics. Yeah. And say what? Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, but with that being said, how many politicians aren't blithering idiots that just want to go in and make a buck and everything else?
Okay, so when
I'm not saying all. I'm not saying all.
No, but most of the time, like Byron Daniels is not an idiot. Byron Daniels, he may have some conscientious stupidity. He might have some conscientious stupidity, but he's not sincerely ignorant. Herschel Walker is sincerely ignorant. He goes up there. He said, who was it? He said Dracula was a cool. He got up there and said some crazy speech.
In front of him and say knick-knack, patty
knick-knack, patty. Come on, man. He called Donald Trump Donald Jr.
Yeah. So, and again, we're gonna, to a certain degree, we're gonna play and pander to our audience, right?
Absolutely.
And that's like another thing. It's just like, I watched a little bit of both sides, and then I had to go to work, and then I was just like, man, I'm tired of this because everyone wants to fight, and I just want to shoot people in the face, bring on the zombies. But it was just like, it seemed like a lot of times VP Harris would go to places and her accent would change. She would change. And I see that's common with a lot of politicians. It's like, one day you're doing this, one day you're doing that, and I'll agree with you, Roadblock. Trump is a showman. He's running the greatest circus on earth.
Right, he's a con man, but go ahead.
Showman, con man, whatever. You know what I mean?
Two-time president.
Oh
yeah, because people are easily con. Come on now, people easily. The phrase snake oil salesman ain't just come out of nowhere.
But Roadblock, this
ain't come out of nowhere.
The whole world is celebrating that he won.
It's less about his con and more about people just generally. Kamala Harris was the most disliked politician damn near in the past 20 years.
And
Joe
why is
Biden
that?
at his lowest.
And why is that?
Hold on. Joe Biden at his lowest was higher than Kamala Harris. So why would you, if you're going to take Joe Biden out the race, and I agree with taking Joe Biden out the race, the Democrats didn't hold a true primary, just in case. You knew his mental health was on the decline. So you made a lot of mistakes.
But you can say that the Republicans didn't hold a true primary.
But you have a candidate that the Republicans, I respect them on this. They knew it. Donald Trump had their party. He's been had their party for years now.
So what was the point of having the primary?
In the case of Joe Biden, you needed to have a primary.
No, I'm talking about with the Republicans.
Everybody, they debated. They had their thing.
But you know they wasn't gonna win. So
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But Kamala didn't
real primary.
But see, have y'all ever read the Democratic playbook? How they pick their elected officials? It says if you are a part of the ticket and the president steps down during the primary, then that person can be elevated to running for president. It says it right there. It's literally in their handbook. It's literally in their handbook.
Roadblock. They didn't
do they have to choose that person though, or they can?
They don't have to, but the problem is with the Democrats is they never vetted anybody.
Okay,
they didn't vet nobody for years. After Obama, it was literally like, let's just give it to Joe.
They wouldn't let RFK debate Joe Biden. They wouldn't let nobody. They wouldn't let Joe Biden debate nobody this time around. That's why it turned out like that.
Because with the Democratic Party, it's always it's your turn now. After Obama, they promised Hillary. Even though everybody told you at the time we don't like Hillary, they still say it's her turn.
It should have been what's the name?
Huh?
It should have been Bernie Sanders. That's who it should have been.
Bernie Sanders' turn.
Yep.
Miss, I like to fall asleep and everything.
No, they did. They did steal that from Bernie. They stole that from Bernie.
They absolutely did.
They stole that from Bernie.
But you ran.
But they're the Democrats.
You ran the most unpopular politician in history. Black people told you we don't like the fact that she's imitating black. It's insulting. Numerous black people said that. That's why she didn't win the first time. You know, when she primary, she was the first one to drop out.
No, the reason why she fell out the first time is because Tulsi Gabbard ate her ass up on that stage. She couldn't recover.
She hadn't got any better with debate. They knew all of this. See,
but when she debated Trump, she ate his ass up.
Not really.
No. She ate his ass up.
Help. That was a 3-verse-1, man.
No, it wasn't, man. Stop it. Stop it.
Hey, bro, she had to stay within
a say that. Man. The majority, just like the majority that voted for Trump. I mean, that's what the people say.
But see, the thing is that this is the problem with America. You have TikTok, you got Facebook, you got all of these entities that one person, what was that? The black, it was already vetted that some black something conservative who put out a lot of these lies was a Russian bot, and he put out a lot, and a lot of people ran with it, and a lot of people ran with it. So what the problem with social media is one person say something on social media, then a whole bunch of people grab it, and then they push that shit out. It's not vetted, and then by the time the ball is rolling, it's hard to stop because it's easy to put a negative out there. It's hard to disprove the negative. That's facts.
Can I?
That is not, bro. It is not facts disprove the negative.
No, because if you already got it, it's called cognitive dissonance. If I already believe something in my head. If I already believe something in my head and you try to tell me that, hey man, I got proof that says that this ain't true, you're not gonna believe that because it disagrees with what's something that makes you feel good. So if this makes you feel good over here, and I tell you that, hey man, I got proof that says that this is not true, you ain't gonna pay attention to what I'm saying to you because this makes you feel good over here.
I absolutely don't. Some people will think like that, but you cannot. That's not me. I want to go back to something that Tactical Tina said. when she said, when using that theory, who's up next for the Democrats, they've already shown their hand who they want next. That's Gavin Newsom.
He could never.
Oh, he killed his chance
He
to
could
win
never.
the reparations fiasco.
2028.
That wasn't him. That was the Democratic Party, the Democratic caucus in the Democratic caucus in California pulled that.
Roadblock. Listen to me.
I just
behind the scenes. Now, I'm telling you what happened. I'm in contact. Mr. 411 can verify this. I have been in contact with Camilla Moore. Camilla Moore drafted the whole reparations bill for the state of California. That was her bill. She had it pushed through by a senator that was going out the door. So she broke this whole thing down to me. So I'm getting it from the source. I'm not getting it secondhand. What happened was Gavin Newsom signaled to the California Black Caucus that he would not, if it came across his desk, he would veto it. The Democratic Party as a whole, the National Democratic Party said, we cannot have him veto a reparations bill because we're going to run him for 2028. All of this is verified by the person who is
push it out anyway. If it's good for black people, push it out anyway. Why are you worried about what some white dude said?
I'm just telling you what happened.
That's what I'm saying. It don't matter.
I'm telling you what happened.
Just push it out anyway.
Listen, they had the votes. There was no way to veto. It was no. The only way to stop it was what Gavin was for Gavin Newsom to veto it. The Democratic Party in California and the National Democratic Party did not want that to happen. The National Democratic Party didn't want it to happen because that would have been a roadmap to national reparations. You couldn't stall us out with a study anymore. So instead of letting Gavin Newsom take the fall for it, he convinced the Congressional Black Caucus because they did not vote on it. That was what they didn't do. They didn't vote on it. They didn't veto it. They didn't strike it down. They just didn't vote. They refused to vote on it.
Convince
this
because if you serious about reparations,
they weren't.
Can't no white man tell me to not vote on something or put it up for a vote. Ain't nobody gonna tell me that. So if we really about this in 2024, can't nobody tell me nothing, and you gonna call his bluff. Put it out. I was mad at Obama when Obama didn't put up the first black woman as a Supreme Court and put it in front of Mitch McConnell's face and dare him to not bring her up for a vote. But did he do it? No, he didn't. We gotta quit being scared, man. We gotta quit being scared.
Okay.
I'm explaining this to you. So the reason that they didn't do it is this is from California all the way across the country. The black politicians most of them are in safe districts. They will never be primary. Look at Jim Clyburn. Most of the black politicians nationwide are in pretty safe districts. They depend on politics for their daily bread. That's how they make their money. When the Democratic Party comes in and dangle it, these are people that have no morals. They're not black first. They're not putting the needs of our people first. They're putting their own selfish needs first. A lot of them in the caucus, I think a couple of them they black, but they're not from here. So they wouldn't be eligible for reparations anyway. So it's no repercussions to them. They like, I don't care because I wouldn't go get it anyway. So if I can't get it, you can't get it.
Yeah, so one of those things right there, it doesn't serve a lot of their long-term agendas and their needs. So Roadblock, I think you're looking at it from a holistic standpoint. You're going to do what's right. Me as a politician, I'm going to do what's profitable, right? So it's one of those things to where I can go back to my constituents and say, well, I didn't vote for congressional pay raise while, not giving you guys more aid for this, right? So I can go back there and I can not lie on that, but behind the deals, I'll just abstain from the vote, right? I'll just do that. I'll play those games. And one of the things you have to look at is, again, follow the money. Mm-hmm. See where the money's coming from and everything else. Once you follow the money, you'll find out what's coming up and what's important. I think one of the things we as a Black society, community, people, we don't do is we don't hold our people accountable at all. Right? Because I'm going to promise you, hey, Roadblock, you vote for me. If I got your support on this, I got you. And he's going to be like, hey, Q, hey, Mr. Critical Thought. I'm like, who this? Like, who this? But then 3.5 years, it's going to start kicking back up. And then going back to what you were saying about social media, I see social media today, the TikToks and YouTubes and all these influencers, they're nothing more than what the church was back in the 50s and the 60s. Because when the pastor said, do this, we did that.
Exactly.
Right? What's the difference? So until we start using a little bit of that critical thought, we start doing some of that research on our own. Because if Roadblock says something, Hot Tub Tony says something, Think Mega says something about guns, Mr. 411 says something about sports, I'm be like, yo, they said it must be true. Right? And that because we're lazy. I'm lazy. If I look up to you as a trusted source, that's what I got.
I'm not gonna do my own research.
Oh, man,
Right.
Just gonna run with it.
Do. So again, we don't go through and we don't validate our sources, because when you start looking at VP Harris, and I'm not going to be disrespectful to either one of them, right? I'm not going to attack their character. I'm going to go in their politics. She sat down on some interviews and she talked about legalizing marijuana, and she was like, yeah, I used to smoke joints when Snoop Dogg came out in 93 when I was in college or whatever. Snoop Dogg didn't come out until 95 or 96.
Yeah.
Why is it that you're going to sit up here and you're going to laugh and joke about you throwing or putting a whole bunch of innocent people in jail, maxing them out on low-level offenses?
How many? Okay, so how many black men did she put in jail?
I didn't say black men.
No, I'm just saying how many people did she put in jail for low-level drug offenses?
19 people.
I don't know the numbers. I can go back and do the research together.
I do know the numbers.
But I know that. People. Say again.
She put 1,000 people in jail for low-level Hold on, listen.
100 people.
She put 1,000 men, roughly 1,000 men, give or take 100 or so, in jail for low-level drug offenses. Only 45 of them were black. Only 45.
Roadblock.
That doesn't make it.
I'm just saying. So.
Tony, hold
on.
Okay.
But this is what I'm saying. Because
I didn't say anything whether it was black or white.
I understand this, but what was going off into the black manosphere in the black web was she put thousands of black men in jail, and people got that from somebody on TikTok and ran with it and actually didn't do any research.
And I applaud you on your research. Now we just talked about low-level drug offenses. What was like the other offenses that got stacked and everything else? I don't know. But my whole deal is, how can you sit on here and then come back when you had exculpatory evidence that could have let people out, or you just ran them up in the system, right? I was like, all right, I got it. You're doing your job. You're doing your job. It's like right now, someone said, hey, go ahead and push that button and the building's going to come down. Like, shit, how many more buttons you need me to push? Right, money coming every Thursday, right? So at certain points, we some of us will sell our soul to whoever's waving that check, right? Some of us will. Roadblock, for some reason, you don't strike me as that type of person. You'll probably be a good politician because you'll probably do what you said you was going to do to get in the office, right? Me, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna build a playground, man. I'm putting a trash dump next there, boy. That money green, but no, seriously, right? So, and then I'm going to pander to you, and I'm going to come around. I'm going to do everything that you don't need me to do, but not take care of your needs. And I'm going to stay in office, like Tony said. I'm going to be safe. I'm not going to try and go so high to where people start scrutinizing what I do, but I'm going to be just comfortable right there, And we don't hold ourselves and our politicians accountable. I guess that's the only thing I got to say. All politics are local. Hold them accountable.
I kind of want to bring it back to what the election, what we kind of talk about, because we kind of getting off. When we bringing it back to this election, I think we can all agree that the campaign that was ran was bad. Now, me and Roadblock, everybody on here knows me and Roadblock and went back and forth about this. But he said something, and I appreciate him saying it. He say, you don't hold the same smoke that for Donald Trump that you do for Kamala Harris. And with that being said, onus right now is on Donald Trump and his administration. pretty much the consensus is everybody want the illegals up out of here. You're going to have to show and prove this time around. Yes, he has nothing to lose, but them Republicans do. Now, the deck is stacked right now because guess what? You got 3 Supreme Court justices that say they want to retire. This man is going to put more justices in the Supreme Court than any other president in history between his 2 terms. So now, everything that's wrong with the country going forward from January,
It's
they
on
hold
him.
on.
Yep.
It's
on his account.
So they get the same smoke that Biden got. And that goes for Mega, you too. I know that's your party, but hold them accountable. See, and that goes to what Joe Biden said. Holding your politicians accountable. What did you ask them for? Whatever you asked them for, whatever you voted them in for, hold them accountable for it. Now,
So, gentlemen, go ahead. Go ahead, finish your thought, then I'm gonna throw
go
a
ahead,
question out there.
Go
Oh
ahead.
no, well, I want to throw out there because going back to Harris, um, and some of that. Why was she? Why was she the person that they chose to push that in your minds? And this is for everybody. Like, why do you think that Kamala was next?
Brown skin.
I just think that she was a woman.
That too.
I think woman trumped everything because of what happened with Roe v. Wade.
Yeah.
I think the Brown scam also because they tried with the woman with Hillary and it ain't work, a white woman and it ain't work against Trump. So I think the Brown, like, because that's what she instantly went with the black thing. She instantly went like you said, the black celebrities, all of that. I just think, like I said, I think that's where she went wrong.
I don't think so because black women voted 89, 92% voted for Kamala Harris, and then black men voted for her 83%.
No. So, something like 72.
Yeah, 92% black women and
Does that
black
help
men
right there?
78%. I was close. So what I'm saying is that black people was gonna vote majority them anyway. Latino women, white women, they wanted to go for the woman vote because women vote more in this country than men.
Yeah. And one thing I would caution to say is, exit polls are notorious for being within that marginal era, but people also lie in those exit polls when they come out.
Absolutely.
Ain't nobody asked me that when I went and voted.
I'll say this as a black man, because to lead up to it, they were blaming black men for not showing up. And even afterwards, on election night, they were blaming black men for not showing up. Then they switched gears the very next morning and say, oh, it's because Hispanics voted overwhelmingly for Donald Trump. Hispanics always vote Republican. Majority of Hispanics always vote Republican. That's across the board. What they're not saying is that how many black people, not just black men, black men and women did not show up to the polls.
It was probably in the millions.
Most chose the couch. That was a clear message to the Democratic Party from the black community that we do not support your agenda.
Yeah.
And that was a mandate from your biggest voter group that whatever you're doing, everything that you're doing, we don't agree with.
Yeah. And that's one of those things, Hot Tub Tony, we've had this conversation. We've had it on several lives on Roadblock. You've even agreed with us on this on some points. All politics are local. So at the national level, they're not giving us what we asked for. When I start, it's like, hey, Hot Tub Tony, you running again for a council seat, mayor seat? Nah, bro, you're going to have to go back to your pharmacy and work because we ain't voting for you this time.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you start putting that pressure on those state reps, they start putting the pressure on their representatives like, hey, my constituents ain't happy. If they don't vote me in, we all going to have to get a job because the person that's going to come and replace me, he going to kick you out. He going to do stuff for the other guy. And then you start getting those committees and everything else. Then you start seeing that funding come up for your projects, for your school care and that federal aid for whatever, and all that other good stuff. You start putting that pressure on local and it goes up, right? Because when you got a large block of votes and everything else, electoral votes or popular vote, and you start getting that momentum, people start taking notice. No one wants to be a one-term president. No one wants to be a one-term legislator, right? Because now you do that, now you gotta go get a job.
Hey,
Right?
you
You
But
gotta go back to work.
the problem with that has always been, as long as we're not fielding, and I'm speaking with this statement, I'm speaking for my community, but it applies to everybody's community. As long as you're allowing other people to vet and bring you politicians, as opposed to you doing your own vetting, your own financing, and putting up your own
You
candidate,
get what they give you.
that will happen. We're gonna at some point in time, and I think we're getting to that precipice right now as a people, to where we're gonna start. Hey man, we don't like who you keep bringing to us. So at least on the local level, and I've said this time and time, Joval, you've been on many panels where I've said this. It takes less than $10,000 to be mayor in most cities. Outside of the major cities, it doesn't cost a lot to be a politician. It starts with most people start in politics, they get on the school board. Start there. I see at least 5 good black men right here. We can all run in our respective area and probably win because it's fairly cheap. Because
my cousin just won school board member in Detroit.
Huh?
My cousin just ran and won school board member in her area, and this is her first time running. Period.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations.
She won.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tanisha.
You know, and 411 put in there, excuse me, will Republicans or Democrats do enough for black people? It's like this right here. We have to stop thinking. My opinion is we have to stop thinking in this two-party system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because now I'm bound by the Republicans, I'm bound by the Democrats. And start saying, okay, like Tony said, you know what? You ain't doing what I need you to do. I'm just gonna sit this one out. When I sit this one out, I'm taking away all my financial funding and everything else. And again, going back to the economic side, right? If Black Americans, African Americans, whatever we call ourselves today, if we spent our money smartly, judiciously, we don't waste it and everything else, our GDP is like the 16th largest GDP in the world if we was a nation. But the problem is I'm listening to all these influencers and I gotta go get this, I gotta go to get that. Tony, you said it. One day, pick a day. Don't spend anything, but spend it in your own community and let that money circulate, right? My prices might be a little bit high because I don't have the reach of an Amazon and everything else, but you know where your money's going, because when I bubble up, right, when I get that good house and everything else, the cops is going to treat me a different way. I get access to the political machine, whether it's through lawyers because I'm paying taxes, whatever, because they want money. So now when they go and they crack roadblock in their head, I can go down and say, yo, why are you doing that to them? Now they got to listen. Now I got their attention. That goes from the town municipal level to the county level to the state, right? And then once you get to state, they got to take notice of your financial power. Whether you like me or not, you like my money.
You're gonna respect this black dollar.
Yeah. You're gonna respect that green. But I'm being sidetracked by what's important by, like C-Man put out there. You got all these entertainers out there that can't construct a sentence that makes sense or everything else. And they're talking down to us, they're pandering to us and everything else. I mean, I see 4 additional very intelligent men up here on this panel. But why are you talking to me like I'm a kid? Why are you patronizing me? I'm a grown man.
But see, Joe Biden, now that's interesting because, and what C-Man said, it's interesting because you say that. I see where you're coming from, C-Man. But this showed us that no, all the black America ain't just falling in line behind the celebrity. We don't need, as a people, you'll never have the majority of us moving in the best interest of us. Hell, the majority of white people don't move in the best interest of white people. All you need is a critical mass. That's 20 to 30% of a population to get behind any cause. It don't matter the cause. And that normally becomes the status quo for that community.
So I like to address something that C-Man put up there, about listening to the entertainers and everything else and the way they talk in the vernacular. But it goes back to something that Hot Tub Tony said and what Roblox said, that your cousin, your aunt, your niece just won or just won a seat on the board of education, right? Roblox.
Yeah, that was Roblox.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my cousin.
Yeah, your cousin, right? So it goes back to the education. You realize how much money we spend per student on our kids, and our kids in the inner cities and everything else got like the return on that investment is just so like dumb. Like we're graduating kids that they say, hey, you're graduating, you're functioning here when you take this standardized test, but in reality, they get out in the world like they're not even functioning where you can see me on the screen. So again, all politics are local. So we start taking control of our education, right? And we start bringing back, like you said, right? There's 1,000 basketball players or football players, right? There's 10 million kids graduating from high school, right? You ain't gonna make it, bro. You ain't gonna make it. Bring back the trades. Bring back where you can make that good money, those skills that you need. Now that opens up different opportunities for you. And what I mean by that is you're not going out here doing this nefarious stuff that allegedly, whatever. But I got it right. That opens up additional opportunities. Now, when you look at it, right, I get caught up, I get jammed up because I can't get a job, I can't do this. I'm that money that's supposed to be going towards education and programs isn't going there. I get jammed up on the lick, right? I'm disenfranchised from voting for a very long time. Because even though once you serve your sentence and everything else, there's about 35,000, 40,000 individual laws at the federal, state, and local levels that says you can't do anything, can't get housing.
And the jump on that, I was just telling somebody the other day, one of my fraternity members, we had a discussion about Trump, Kamala, all that shit. And I had just came back from Mississippi. And Mississippi has a law on the books from like 1920 something that prohibits African Americans or people from voting after they have served their prison sentence.
Yeah.
And they just went and took it to court, to the Mississippi Supreme Court. And the Mississippi Supreme Court, down party lines, all the Republicans voted against letting African Americans regain their right to vote. Now, mind you, Mississippi has the largest black population in the nation. It's like 38% African American.
Yeah.
That's a huge voting block.
Yep.
They literally stopped black. And then you had the where they had the Freeman laws where they were throwing black people in jail for petty crimes, and you would have
your blue laws, your Jim Crow laws,
your Jim Crow laws is, and those are still on the books to this day.
They're still on the books.
They're still on the books to this day. So the majority of people in the Mississippi prison, it's like 60% black, but we only make up 35% of the population. So these are Republican laws, and so we talk about politics are local, and Joe Biden, that is a great example. A lot of these Republican-led, because Donald Trump is just the tip of the iceberg, in my opinion. You have to look down ballot at these state representatives, these state governors, these state House of Representatives, these state senates, these Supreme Courts in the state. They are voting against black people and our rights in these states. And we don't, and yeah, we're clouded by what Trump is. Trump is 78 years old. He ain't gonna live long. He may live throughout the 4 years. He may turn into Joe Biden. We don't know. But he may not last. But so now we have to figure out the JD Vances. Now we got to figure out who are these people that are coming up, these Trumplicans who are coming up behind this man. Now we got to figure out in Georgia. Now, see, I like Georgia because I like Kemp. But if you think about what Kemp is doing in Georgia, Kemp literally is putting in place. If the election would have went a certain way, he's put in place laws in Georgia to where they can stop the certification, the state certification in Georgia. They put in new laws for this shit because Kemp was smart. He wasn't going to be like Trump saying that the election was stolen. What he was going to do is he was playing the long game. He was like, I'm going to give myself or another Republican, the ability to be able to not certify or not send in these these electors. Hey man, you got to start looking at these Arkansas, Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, all of these southern states, Tennessee, that are controlled by Republicans. They are literally going through and purging everything black in all of these states, and it's some wild business. And that's why when I was talking to Hot Tub, it's important and it's imperative for black people. We need to step up. We need to start doing more to educate our people about what's going on, not just politically, just to get more people politically critical thinking about stuff. Yeah, acumen up, because it's a lot of it. So you hear a lot of people say stuff on the internet, and you be like, no, that's not true. But they got it from somebody, and a lot of people. What did Ice Cube? What did Chris Rock say? He said, "If you want a nigga to know something, put it in the book.
Put it in the book.
Yeah,
put it in the book.
In the book. But see, so here's something like Roadblock. You talking about voting and everything else, right? Here's something we have to do. We have to start voting on the off election years. What I mean by that, we have to vote when the House of Representatives, when they're not voting for president. That's when we got to vote. When your city councilman is coming up, when your state representatives are being elected, when your congressmen and your senators are being elected, because those are supposed to be the voice of the people. But if I don't show up for that, it's an easy win. It's an easy win. I'm not putting much effort in it. I don't have to give you anything because you didn't vote for me. Because I'm telling you like this, I tell Tony, what I'm gonna do for you? You didn't vote for me. Fuck, I need you.
Man, so how can we get that third party rolling and make it official? Because when is the last time a third party, won an election?
We don't need a third party. This is my and I tell anybody this.
Don't forget Jason, and don't forget Jason down here. He has something down here too. So go ahead.
I'll go into something. I'll address Jason. Jason, all black people have IDs. It's very few black people that don't have IDs. When they put voter IDs in place, that when they try to repeal voter ID laws, that benefits Hispanics who are not citizens. That's who that primarily benefits. Slapping the black person's name on those bills is just to get our support behind something that's not our agenda. I don't know any black person that don't have ID. If you black in America, you better have ID.
Roadblock, like you said, that term "keep it moving," it came about for a reason, right?
If an adult doesn't have an ID, they don't care about voting anyway. I can guarantee you that.
So I'll throw this out there. So my grandmother, she did not have a birth certificate because she did not know when she was born. She did not know the year she was born. She never had a birth certificate. So
family Bible.
So it's a family Bible, but that's not a state document.
Yep.
There are a lot of people in the South, older people now, not too much us now, but there were a lot of people, older people, who don't have a ID. They don't have an ID, and that's where a lot of people were saying, I could just go vote because I could just give them my name and I was able to vote. So now, but that's not more or less now because those people are dying off or have died off.
That whole scenario you just set up. Now that may be true for your grandmother. I'm not discounting that at all. That's not what I'm saying. But that's an exception, not the norm. My grandmother died at 98 years old. My grandmother had an ID. She was also born at the house, so she didn't have a birth certificate. But during the 80s, she went and got an ID. Because they have provisions. I know the state of Georgia has provisions for those kind of scenarios. Most states do. Most states understood at a certain point in time, we didn't keep records like we keep records now. Now, with that being said, so that amount of people that do that is so minuscule that it's laughable. It's laughable that they try to make this a pillar of the voter rights because that's not our issue,
But that wasn't a pillar of voting rights because if you look at North Carolina Supreme Court struck down a North Carolina law where it said in the Supreme Court that they used a surgical precision to literally to take down the black vote, in North Carolina. They struck down their voting law in North Carolina. So a lot of these places do be trying to skirt around the law, because what do Republicans say?
Saying that's not what I'm saying, Roadblock. You're conflating two different issues.
I'm not.
You're conflating two different issues. I'm specifically speaking on the voter ID law. And
you said it was a major provision.
Hold on. See, you got to pump your brakes, Roadblock.
What you talking about?
Now, I'm not saying that chicanery doesn't happen. The chicanery happens on both sides. Both sides are trying to keep the other side's voters from voting for them. What I am saying is that using black people, which the Democratic Party has done and is doing, by saying that, oh, it's a lot of black people. No, it's not. That's a fact. It's a lot of Hispanics. It's a lot of African immigrants. It's a lot of illegal immigrants that are here illegally that don't have ID. Just the only group of people that, by and large, that don't have ID. So I'm not against. That's a common sense thing. You should show who you are when you come to vote, because shit happens.
Well, who's coming to vote if they don't have an ID?
Don't do that type of stuff if you don't have no
ID. What immigrants are coming to vote?
I hear about the states that Kamala won. I think it was like 13 states that she won where there was no voter ID.
Yeah, they struck down like voter suppression laws and everything else, and you run the risk of illegals voting, right? And it's a federal crime to register to vote if you're not a citizen. So without ID, I'm not gonna say voter ID, but without some form of proof of citizenship or anything else, you're committing a federal crime. Now, for me coming over as an immigrant or whatever, if you're telling me you're gonna get me this, you're gonna get me that, only thing I gotta do is just show up, hold a sign, and go in and punch these numbers. That's an easy day. So you're buying votes, right? And it's done on both sides. I mean, everyone does it.
What illegals? What people who are not citizens of this country are voting?
I can't give it.
Who is voting? Because I literally work in facts. I don't work on what people say and what come out their mouth. If you can't provide me an article from a reputable source that says that illegal, somebody is not here and that's not supposed to be here in this country is voting, I ain't trying to hear that shit. Because I work in facts. I'm not trying to hear that shit. I don't work that way.
They literally had a bill in place that they tried to put into the
not Newsmax. Think Mega Newsmax is not a reputable source.
But I'm just saying, what do you think is a reputable source?
Block Twitter. Is that good enough for you?
Hell no.
Let me talk. They had a bill in place inside the spending bill they had a provision in place that would have allowed illegals to vote. It got struck down. It pretty much got struck down by a lot of people in both parties. But the fact that somebody in Congress thought to put that in there right before the election shows you that happens. If you
a lot of people that put a whole lot of bullshit in bills that don't pass. It's a lot of people. It's literally that's people. I can show you. Yeah. Okay. You showed me an example. Okay.
Okay. That's
but my thing is, show me an example of where you said illegals are voting, because you said somebody get a sign, they go in there and punch a bunch of buttons. I'm trying to figure out where that happened. I'm trying to figure out where that happened. You did. You said you get a sign.
No, I said that.
Oh, you said that, Joe. You said that.
The parties, they'll get undocumented illegals, non-citizens. They'll get them at rallies, give them a sign. Hey, yada yada yada. We with Team Roadblock, whatever. And then if they don't have identification laws, I can go in there and vote, because all I gotta do is say, hey, my name's on this, because I've already registered as a non-citizen, right? So once I register, I can go in and vote in that state, in any district, and everything else. And that's why they said that you have to have documentation or proof that you are a citizen. It's a federal crime to register to vote if you're not a citizen.
There were people.
I think if you're not like a immigrant with voter rights and everything else. But I can tell you that from first-hand experience.
There were people on the voter rolls right here in Virginia that had to get removed.
Yeah,
and then they tried to put them back, and then go. See, I like our governor.
And the Supreme Court ruled against them, said they need to take them off.
Exactly. Yeah,
they committed a federal crime when they signed up.
But when I said the thing about a reputable source, I saw you
Like
saw
Twitter.
CNN and CNN. Like, so I'm just gonna say CNN, for example. CNN ran the Russia hoax thing. That was a lie.
That
They
wasn't a hoax.
they hid the Hunter Biden laptop. That was true. I'm saying, so it's like
didn't hide it.
what, how they reputable? What makes
They didn't hide the laptop thing.
They suppressed it.
So and I'm gonna tell you this right now. I think Mega, the motherfucking Republicans investigated this shit for 2.5 years. You had that dumbass Comer on CNN and Fox every day talking about the nail is going to drop, the nail is going to drop. We got the big gun, we coming, da 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 da. Nothing happened. So it doesn't matter because nothing happened. The Russia hoax was not a hoax. They already proved that Trump's boy, the one that he pardoned that went in jail, that he was colluding with the Russian dudes. The investigators said we can't prosecute Trump. It is up to the House. And they recommended he be prosecuted, but they didn't do it. It didn't say that, oh, Trump is just he's nothing happened. He didn't do anything with Russia. No, that's not what happened. They recommended that if y'all gonna prosecute him, here's the evidence. They chose not to. Those is the facts. Because I literally don't understand how people don't be reading this shit, because I literally read the document. It said it recommended that if you want to do it, here's the evidence. And they didn't do it. The Hunter laptop thing, they said that they blocked it. They blocked it. And if it would have came out, the people, they only blocked it for 24 hours and they put it back up.
Well, gentlemen,
they put it back up.
Well, gentlemen, Trump is in, and there's a lot of talk, and I'm speaking this from just just being like all of us, just everyday people, but a lot of people around me, leading up to this election, leading up to the race and all this was like, hey, if Trump gets in, we're going back to slavery. Be afraid of Project 2025 as well. So I wanted to bring this forth to you guys, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on that. Are we going back to slavery, and also Project 2025? What is all that, and is that really going to come to pass?
I want to bring up something about Project 2025. Project 2025 is damn near a carbon copy of the Moynihan report from the Nixon administration, with the additions in for gay, how they gonna disenfranchise gay people and take away gay marriage and the illegals. That's the only thing that they've added. That what they're saying in Project 2025 as it pertains to Black people, they have said in the Moynihan report. They have said in several different reports since then. We're not going back in slavery. Number two with that. Are you going to allow them to put you back in there? I don't care what law you make, what executive order you sign. I'm not going back in slavery. I'm taking about 30 with me if you try it. So for us to say that is the most asinine fucking argument that I hear over and over again. They're going to put it back in slavery. They can't. If you allow yourself to be in slavery, you deserve to be there. God damn it. You deserve it. Stop letting people scare you. The man was in office before. If he do something and we don't like it, guess what we did? We're going to do the same thing we did in the last year of his presidency. We damn near turned this country out in 2020. So if you try to go too far, one thing I do know about my people, we do better with overt racism. I say it this time and time again. I like my races out in the open. I like to know where everybody stands, where your views are. That way I know how to handle you. And that's what Trump's first presidency did. It showed us who was around us, who were just quietly racist, and we didn't know it. So if we go back to that, so be it. Black people, then you know it. You know how to operate. What we don't handle well as a people is covert racism. Because then we can pretend that racism is gone. that it's not really racism, it's classism. It's that everybody gets along. Stop the fucking pretending. This is America. America was built on racism. It'll always be here. It's the choice that you got is how you deal with it. But don't let a party scare you. It's 2 hour party 2025. Well, let it come. If we're gonna be civil war, then so be it. Let it come. Everybody up here got guns.
I ain't got no guns.
Let's fight it out, then. Let's go.
Find gun drum Skittles talking about taste the rainbow, baby.
Goddamn right.
I'm gonna go up the road.
What did he say? If it's going down, let's get it over with.
Yeah. You got more stuff than I do, Joe.
Hey, Hot Tub, I got a question for you, right? And you
go ahead, sir.
Back to slavery and everything else, right? And you know, as I look around and everything else, I mean, are some of us still there? Because if you look at some of our actions, things that we do and everything else, I mean,
say it again.
Are some of us still there? It's like we might not be on the plantations, but we still, some of us, you know, at times I still have that slave mentality.
It's a percentage of us. I'm not saying everybody in the black community.
And I guess what I'm saying is
the white community ain't step.
Yeah. And what I'm saying is, what would slavery, quote unquote, slavery look like in 2025? I mean, of course, you know, we ain't gonna be picking cotton and, you know, moo that hay and cracking the whips and everything else. But what would it look like? Because sometimes, you know, you could be knee deep in something. You so deep into the forest you can't see the trees, right? It's like you heard the story about the frog in a pot of water. You gradually turn up the heat, and by the time the frog realizes it's getting boiled to death, it ain't got enough energy to jump out, right? So is that how we are with the Democratic Party?
That's That's exactly how we were with the Democrats. That's good analogy. Under Democrats, that is the perfect analogy for it. What the slavery looked like in 2024, mass incarceration. We saw this before. Everything that they're proposing to do to us, we've seen it done before. Yeah. These are not new plays that they're running. Read the damn document.
Hey, so this right here, right? Stop and frisk. That's like, hey, show me your papers, right? You know, mandatory minimums, right? And so you tried to run away or whatever. So let's free our minds. Let's get that education, because I know I'm an L7 type dude, and I try to read a book, and you tell me to go dunk a basketball. I got it. And you know, when you look at it, right, you look at the plantations and everything else, they had certain workers or slaves that they had for pure entertainment, right? They ate better, they got fed better, and all they dressed better. To me, and some people might come at me, but hey, come at me, bro. What's the difference between these dudes up here shucking and jiving and men wearing women's clothes and everything else, and you're up here pandering and doing that dance and everything else? I don't see any difference. That's just me.
I literally put those same dudes.
Black celebrities are the bane of black society in my eyes.
And I think Coombs and I think black buck dancing sambos,
shucking and jiving,
like Tim Scott and Candace Owens, and I would say Roland Martin. I would say a lot of these folks, Byron Donalds, all of these. I think all of them are in the same boat. I think all of them buck dance. They pander. They do everything that they can for money. Money is their biggest driver, because I said a long time ago, Candace Owens she bashes black people in front of white people. That's how she got money. That's how she got famous. Bashing black people is big business. The 4 Bs, bashing black people is big business. That's just what it is. And she's been doing it, and she's been doing it vigorously for years.
But hey, Robot, what about that P in that sentence, man?
I said 4 Ps, man. I mean 4 Bs, man. Leave that P alone, man. Leave that P alone, man. It wouldn't have sounded right if I said 4 Ps, 4 Bs, and a P.
All politics is local. Put that money in the Board of Education.
I want to say one thing about the Candace Owens things, and I don't agree with her on majority of shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't disagree with her on everything, but you know, we are one thing that I know a big thing about, man. We in this social media era, so the way I kind of look at her like a female, more eloquent version of Charleston White. Charleston White, when he was on his helping the community, he was dropping videos talking about real shit.
Facts.
Nobody was listening.
The minute he started talking like a damn nigga, he became the man. So it's like, like you said, it is big business, bro. So I'm just saying like this, and I'm not defending. I'm saying if we in the internet world and I want to make money off the internet, I'm married to a white man. I hang with a bunch of white people. I mean, it's gonna get me all the attention. I mean, it's just like, I mean, we in the club. That's why, like, one thing I say with you, Roadblock, and this ain't to you. I mean, at you. I'm saying it to you. Like, I don't think, and maybe it's disrespectful, but I don't think so much of everybody. And what I mean when I say that is, like how you say we got to get people to, people are doing what they want to do, man. People do what they want to do. We can't get people to do nothing, man. Like, I mean, like, Robo, let me tell you this, bro. When I rap, man, when I was really serious about rapping, I was all about a message. All about that. People don't care about that, man. They don't care, man. People want, look, man, I mean, like, so one time I asked some homies way back in the day, like, who was some serious hustlers. And I'm like, son, are you cool that if you get all this money, you can drive all the cars, you mess with all the females and shit for like 10 years, and then you be in jail 20 years? Do you know how many dudes said, bro, when I gotta think about it, if I can have a good 15-year run, bro, fuck it, nigga. You know how many people said? So what I'm saying, Roadblock, is like they said, you can lead people to water, you can't make them drink it, bro. People, I think people got, this is what I say. I seen people get more lost after COVID. And what I mean when I say this, people were confused. When people had when you were not an essential worker, when people saw that your job could just be stopped, people didn't know how to deal with that. And then it made people be like, look, whatever I got and whatever I can get, I can't worry about what everybody else doing. Now, everybody might not be doing what they doing in the right way. But what I'm saying is, bro, the people that think like us, Roadblock, bro, we gotta be real, bro. Everybody ain't like this, man.
I don't, but see, I don't really care about that aspect, because what you just said to me makes me feel that I can't get popular being real. So what I'm gonna do is sell my soul to get popular, because literally Charleston White told an interviewer, he said, this is just an act. All it is, what I do all day, every day, this is just an act. So I see my problem with Candace Owens and a lot of these Republicans is that the first time I see them, because when I see them, the first thing I do is go to the comment section. Who's in the comment section? It's a whole lot of people that don't look like us in the comment section. Big up in them, big up in them. Oh man, you're great. You're great. You're great. And then you go to their background and you see that she sued her school for racial discrimination and used the NAACP to do it. And she won, and she used that money to start her podcasting career, which she hated Trump, and then Charlie Kirk approached her and asked him to come work for her, and she took the bait and sold her people out. And then she basically made her career off of bashing black people in front of white people. That's how she made Byron Daniels. Byron Daniels had a black woman, you know what I'm saying? And he was struggling, He met a white woman, seen that she was rich, changed his whole political career, jumped in the bandwagon with her, then was put in position to be where he is right now. All I'm saying is you got to watch these people. It's not just Kamala. It's not just Roland Martin. You got to look at these people in every party, because everybody got an agenda. Everybody got a ill will about what they doing. I don't care who they is. If they in front of you trying to tap dance and trying to get you to vote for them, you need to mind your P's and Q's around that person, because that person, like, okay, so the one dude, it's a podcast. He a red pill dude, got braids, light-skinned dude. He be talking about women this, y'all ain't shit, y'all can't be with men shouldn't date single mothers and . truth be told, he be on TikTok with his white girlfriend who was a single mother when he met her, had 2 other kids, and he met her, they had 2 other kids, and he be on TikTok doing the same shit and telling people that he be telling people not to do. So you gotta, these people literally, these politicians be in your face telling you what you want to hear, and people don't investigate them.
Yeah,
That's my thing.
For me, I don't really deal with politicians like that and never have. But all I can say is when my thing with Trump was more so because it's really just because, and I mean it was really a comparison. I'm looking at Trump, but what it was before the Biden-Harris, and then if there's a choice between Biden-Harris and what it was, if that's the choice, because that was the 2 choices. It was either what it was the last 4 years or what it was these last 4 years. And I just felt, for me, and I know everybody I know was in a better position during that time. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's misconceptions, but that's go ahead, Hata, my bad.
It doesn't. None of that matters at this point in time. The mandate by America has been set. Donald Trump won the election. He won the popular vote. This is what America said they wanted. Now, going forward, all I can tell my community, I hear everything everybody's saying, and I'm not discounting none of y'all's opinion on none of this. Everything's valid you're saying to a certain degree. I'm saying as Black people, we got to get to a point that we don't worry about elections. Most
insulated.
Don't worry about elections. Most
insulated.
Don't worry about elections because their communities are so insulated. I read a report.
Yep.
This report said that the amount of millionaires in America is growing faster and faster. Of those, one of the fastest growing groups, 2 of the fastest growing groups are plumbers.
Plumbers, I seen that too.
And HVAC. Those are the 2 fastest groups of Black of millionaires in the United States. That's a lane that's wide open for Black people. You want to get your kids, you don't want your kids buried in college debt, and that to the point to where they have to worry about a politician paying off their student loans. Send them to trade school. These are valuable options in fields that are lacking in people, that are wide open for us as a community to collectively take over, just like trucking. During the pandemic, Black people accounted for the biggest amount of new CDL drivers. I know plenty of people that made that
and PPP loans
as truckers. We need to start positioning ourselves to find holes in this economy, find where we can get in there with the minimum amount of education, with the minimum amount of effort, and start filling those roles. Linemen, stuff that you wouldn't traditionally think about. These careers, for the most part, are AI proof. Technology.
Yep, that's a good point.
Yep.
Electricians.
And that's where my son is going right now. I told him, I said, boy, me and my wife made a decision with my son. I said, he's not college material right now. I had him write me a report on the 3 best trades to get into, and I told him to pick one. After he wrote the report, he picked electrician. I said, wow, that's your goal right there, is to become an electrician. I didn't want him to do what I did. You know what I'm saying? I mean, went to school, did all that, got my degree. That I worked for the railroad. I didn't want him to do manual labor, but we need people to help the infrastructure. We need brothers. I mean, there's a white boy that worked for me right now. He's 19 years old. His dad got him on. He's 19 years old. He gonna be on the railroad making $100,000 a year at 19 years old, man, with no college debt. He gonna live with his mom and dad until he 25, until he move out. But we always pushing college and stuff like that, man. We need to do trades, bro.
Let me tell y'all something. Jovi, I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna tell you something real quick and then let you go. Let you get yours off. Roadblock knows like I do. The railroad was Black dominated all the way up until the 90s.
Yes.
His job right now, they had a word for it. They called Gandy dancers.
Yep.
We were that labor force for the railroad. Right now in America, the railroad is suffering a personnel problem across the board. Every job in the railroad is suffering right now.
Ridiculous.
It's so many openings, it's ridiculous. I got on from my sister-in-law. Start putting your people on. I've been pushing young black men to go to the
They don't
railroad.
want to put the weed down. The
I got a cousin
weed.
in
That's all.
Chicago. I got a cousin in Chicago.
They take you with no college degree.
I think he do it locally, but he make bread. He made him saying he been wearing Louboutin shoes like since back in the, you know what I'm saying? Like he been like how you say he got into a young roadblock. Like he, you know what I'm saying, one of my younger cousins in Chicago. He do the it's like some Chicago train. He don't really go too much far. Like he ain't doing like you, like going across country. He goes, but he like, you know, like the bread is but he did tell me they be short on people too. He said that's why he made so much bread, because he be
no high school diploma.
Yeah,
railroad.
You got to tell these dudes. I'll be having to tell a lot of these cats to stop, put the weed down, man, because they take hair. That shit go by 6 months. I'm like, can you pass a drug test? They be like,
yeah. So like you two are saying, your infrastructure, trucking, railroads, and
dock workers. You see what the dock workers did?
Yeah, longshoremen, right?
Longshoremen.
So two things I really want to say. We aren't and oil and gas, all that infrastructure.
Yes, absolutely.
We aren't pushing those things. Like I said earlier, right? There's only 100,000 professional athletes in any sport. You ain't going to be one of them.
Everybody ain't gonna be there.
If you still want to be involved with the sports, learn to be a manager, right? Because you only play one sport. You can manage multiple careers,
right?
That money,
agent
or a trainer,
or
a trainer.
What I really wanted to say, Roadblock, you alluded to something, and I thought you was going to follow through with it, right? Going back to that education, right? I don't know how to balance my checkbook. I don't know when I'm spending everything else. So that young kid at 19 years old that's making 100 G's, hopefully his parents is showing him that financial aptitude, because I have a bad habit of managing money. I got a job. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get me an $80,000 car with $20,000 rims. And I don't understand depreciation and the total cost of ownership, because I can make the payments, but I can't afford the maintenance, the upkeep, and the insurance, right? So teach me some financial literacy. I don't need to make $100,000 and spend $100,000 or $115,000. I need to make $50,000 and save $30,000, right? Build that generational wealth, reinvest that. So that's one thing that I'm not being taught. I haven't been taught. I had to learn that lesson like last week. It's like, hey man, just because you got checks don't mean you got money.
So that sound like that needs to be in the education system.
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay, so if we say that's supposed to be an educational system, right? And Trump has already said that he is going to abolish the Department of Education, which I'm not saying that the Department of Education is a great entity in the government.
Look at the reading level across the country.
It's a you say what?
The reading level.
The reading level, right? So there needs to be some, but see, that's not the teachers.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying, but it has to be something with the board of education.
But that's not the board of education. Them is parents. Them is parents, man. Because we in this country, we remember when we was younger, in the school would call your parents, and you would come up to, and your parents would come up to the school, and they would look at you and say what you do. Nowadays, people look at the teachers and say, "What you doing to my child?"
Yeah.
Roadblock. Can I jump in there for a minute? How old is your youngest?
My 11.
Okay, I got a 9-year-old. And some usually, because you're hitting on something that I'm going through right now.
Right.
What I'm going through, and man, it pertains to the conversation. I'm going through this right now with my son's teacher. The school brought in a bunch. They have such a teacher shortage that right now I got Indians and Africans who don't speak the language. They barely speak English. That's teaching a third grader, and he's not getting it.
That's terrible.
You're sending homework home that the kid don't understand. He clearly doesn't understand it. My son is not slow. So what that told me was something ain't right. Mm-hmm. I requested a parent-teacher conference. Didn't hear nothing back from him. Had to go over his head. Had to go into the office and talk to the principal. When I got there, I saw the problem. He's been told by this teacher is not teaching him. When he don't understand something, instead of the teacher stepping in and saying, "Let me get you some additional help," because they do. The school has resources. Because I've had 2 other kids go through that, so I know the resources that are available for them. What they're not doing it is somewhat the teachers. It's not all of them, but you got to look at the quality of teachers that they're putting in there now.
But see,
And,
they don't have. So how much they paying? What's their salary?
But they do. It is a problem across the board. With Trump getting rid of the Department of Education, I don't look at that as a bad thing. You know what I see? I see an opportunity for
own school.
their own schooling.
Yep.
We need to go back to the basics on everything as a black society. Start educating ourselves again. Why do we worry about them teaching black history? That should be their job anyway. That's our job. I don't worry about the school not teaching my child black history. You know what? You know why? Because I'm a repository from it. Because I can tell you black history facts from the time we stepped foot in this country all the way up to now.
The black history they told us was always picked and chosen. They didn't really give us real black history. They told us what they want.
If you get rid of the Board of Education, or you get rid of the Department of Education or whatever, so you got places like Texas that's literally trying to strip anything African American out of the schools. So depriving kids of proper history doesn't necessarily hurt black kids. It hurts white kids more than it does black kids, because then black and white kids grow up thinking to themselves, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Well, why y'all acting? Why is it that some things happen in y'all community that don't happen in our community? Why is it that y'all, the majority of y'all, or some of y'all live in the hood and and what's going on with the country and that? It hurts white kids more, because when I go to work, I work with a whole bunch of white dudes, right? So then when I have a conversation and they tell me about Louisiana, and they say Haitians been eating cats and dogs, and then I tell them the history of Haiti, and I tell them that the United States wouldn't have been formed without the Haitian rebellion, and then they look at me like I done lost my damn mind. Like, what the hell is you talking about?
Roadblock, you say that like this country has ever taught white children.
But see, this is what I'm saying. But this, because when I was in school, I had white kids in my class, and they taught them. We all figured out what was going on. A lot of people, like First Church of God, they literally taught us about, because it was a black school, but we had white kids in there, and they learned about what happened. It wasn't just Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. It was Medgar Evers. It was all these other people that people learned. Go ahead.
You talking about Haiti, bro?
That was a black school. Like I said, it goes back to what I said. We're not waiting for them. We shouldn't be waiting for them to teach it. We're going to have to teach it. I can't worry about what white schools are teaching white children. That's their business. If they don't want to teach it, that's their business. Asian schools don't teach either one of our.
I ain't never seen an Asian school.
I
ain't seen one around here. And we got a whole lot of Asians.
Critical thoughts.
I see some Jewish schools though. Go ahead, Jovan.
Hey, so
don't really teach it.
Yeah. So Roadblock, going back to what you said about like your coworkers and everything else, and I agree with you, but I disagree with you on that, because the people that don't look like us, when they get educated and not getting educated about our history and our contributions and everything else, they're not really going to care, because they don't have that proximity, because they're going to go and their parents are going to set them up to go work in, corporate America or wherever. And they're not really going to have that proximity to different racial groups, ethnic groups, and everything else. That's just a fact.
I disagree, because a lot of them work, because a lot of them work with us.
Yeah, but
especially with the railroad, like, so when you give them that tidbit that they've never heard before,
but
they take that with them. Here's the
deal right here. We just said that the railroads are hurting for people, right? There's more people trying to work in these other corporate places and everything else. The railroad, I would say, is sort of like the military, because you guys are close proximity. You have to depend on other. You're going to get to know each other, right? You're right or wrong. You probably roll, and I've heard you say this before. You've met people that, like, you're like, yo, can I touch your hair? I've never seen a black person in real life before. And you're just like, man, get out of here. I'm gonna punch you in your head, throw your ass up under here, and keep on rolling. And some of them are still assholes, but some of them you probably like, hey, yo, man, what you doing? Let's go out and hit the gym and do whatever. And that's not all the same, because everything's like kind of moving. Because now the only thing that I've seen was how people are on television, and I believe that because that's my only source of information on how a certain group is. So I believe that. So now when I go to these jobs, I'm less likely to interact with people. I can tell you from a personal experience, right? I was in Korea. Right, I was looking for my apartment in Korea and everything else. My realtor was in the car, and I was waiting on her to come out. I didn't want to knock on the door because I'm a kind of a bigger guy. I didn't want to scare her. You know what I mean? So I called her up. She was like, "Hey, where you at?" I was like, "I'm standing right here." She was like, "I don't see you." Right? I was like, I walked it like that. Did the hey, how you doing? Like I wear J. Crew, wave and everything else. Later on,
Code switching. Code switching.
Exactly.
Code switching.
You got to. Had to. Hey, remember that Danny Glover movie when he plays like part interruption? It's like, hey, how you doing? I'm here to sell car insurance. Yeah, put that voice on, man. I gotta eat, right? So sitting down, we eat and everything else, right? And the person that comes up, I don't know how many of you have experienced this, but it's just like, hey, don't take this the wrong way. I already know what's coming next.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't think I was black, so I sound like a white person. It's like, why? Because I, speak the Queen's English or, whatever. And then it goes back to just like, hey, tell me this, tell me that, because the only time we see black people is on the news and this, and we see the knucklehead soldiers that get DUIs and get on the blotter report. It's like, oh, you went to college? Oh, it's just like, it's just fascinating.
Hey, you're
so
smart.
You're smart. Yeah. Oh, the one I like, oh, you speak so well for a black guy. You are teeth.
Or you don't sound like a black guy.
Exactly. So again, it goes back to some of these people that go to these schools and everything else. When they go into the work world, their exposure is going to be very limited. And then, so I work with you 8 hours a day. We ain't talking about nothing. You're not getting to know me. You only see me at work. So when I go back home, it's a lot of times it's the same thing, right? We play those games at work and it's just like, yep, I know who did that dumbass shit.
So let me ask you, so Joe Bob, let me ask you this. If everybody was taught a correct
I can't say absolute. I can't say
no, I'm just saying if everybody, so if we talk, so I would say the understanding of our history in this country is probably by all races is probably 25%, right? It's probably about 25% from everybody non-black. So if there was a proper history lesson in this country that taught people what exactly happened in this country, right? Like how they do the Jews and how everybody know what the hell happened to Jews. I think that number will jump up to like 55%. And that's a drastic difference. So when you see a white dude for the first time at your job and he look at you, he ain't that standoffish. He like, hey, what up, man? How you doing? I'm like, what's good, man? How you doing? All right, what's going on? All right, let's move on. So there's no barrier that needs to be broken with a lot of these people. And so I posted a video earlier today where this white Trump supporter with a white MAGA hat on, with a red MAGA hat on, was in this black woman's face after the election. And he was in her face going, oh, yeah, what you gonna do? You ain't gonna do shit. Trump and all of that. My point is, we got a lot of ignorant people in this country, right?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Roblox, I agree with you 100% on that wholeheartedly. And again, I'm going to say, one bad apple doesn't spoil the bunch, but I'm also going to say if there's 10 jelly beans, there's 10 jelly beans in this container, right? And I say one of them are poison. Are you going to put your hand in there and take a jelly bean? No. Because my history, like I used to tell cops, they try to pull me over. I was like, why didn't you stop? Because my experience, my history taught me that white cops kill black people at 2:00 in the morning minding their business. You know what they do after that? It's like, get the fuck out of here. I was like, nah, let's talk about it. So there's ignorance on both sides, and then sometimes it becomes an issue. I can't wield any power over you, so my ignorance is harmless. I'm just going to wield that power in the hood and shoot up Tyrone and everything else. It becomes an issue when I'm in that position to hire and fire or not hire you based on your name on the application, right? And we all know you have institutional racism. You got this, you got that. I'm not trying to make this about that. If I would say I have conversations with my customers on a daily basis, and we sit down there and we talk about stuff. We don't agree about stuff, but then we come out with a better understanding. My customers is like, well, damn, man, hey, what you doing after work? Let's go have a beer. You know, they want to continue that conversation. Everyone's not going to be singing Hakuna Matata. That's just a fact. But like you say, Roadblock, I have to be open and understand. I have to let you speak. If not, like, all right, Roadblock's going to say this, I'm going to counter with that. I'm like, but damn, Roadblock, I really didn't think about that. You know what I mean?
Real quick.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say, like, all right, that video, because I saw that video you posted, Roadblock, and I ain't saying that, you know, not saying it about. My thing is, like, sometimes in this era, this world we in today, I question whose video was it, because, like, and for that particular case, a bunch of yelling and somebody face whatever, nobody got touched, nobody got hurt, nothing. But it's like, you know how many videos get posted and then go viral? Like, clicks can make money. So it's just like when the dude brought the McDonald's to his kid, it went viral. He had the baby moms had other kids. He like, I just bought it for my kid, and she threw it at him and all that. But there are a couple that they make multiple videos like that you know what I'm saying, that's gonna get people's emotions. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now I'm not saying that video was fake. I'm just saying when I see things, sometimes I don't always just jump. Remember, like, maybe I'm wrong for that, but I just know I don't look at everything as, like, you know what I'm saying, like, real like that, because I mean, and like, you know, my thing is just that.
Hey, here's right here. I think I know what you're saying, man. Dave Chappelle did it. Dave Chappelle said it best when he had jury duty. He was like, they had tapes on R. Kelly. He was like, that piss could have been digital. Right?
Hey, how did I know Hot Tub was gonna laugh?
Roadblock, you said it earlier, man. You got bots putting stuff, you got AI, deep fakes, all that. Not saying it was, not saying this wasn't, but you know, like you said, hey man, like
internet shit.
Hey, it's funny that nigga said that, because when it comes to the Trump shit, when it comes to the shit that's pro-Trump, he never says that. But when it comes to something that goes against the MAGA crowd or Trump, then it's it could be it could be this and that.
All work both ways now.
I'm just saying
all videos
on both sides.
About all videos.
That's how it work on both sides.
He didn't say that at first, though. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna keep the bread all the way fresh.
Like, earlier when I said I don't be believing everything that's going, I wasn't talking about, you know what I'm saying, no pro-Trump or nothing. I'm saying, like, that's me. Yeah. I mean, it's just like I said, like me, I troll on the internet. Like I said, like, for real shit. Like, okay, my Facebook is monetized. Now, the thing that's funny is this. You can see the posts that get certain reactions. Like, I mean, it's like, people like to argue. People love to, I mean, it's like, I think it's funny. Like, I had one of my girls, one of my ex-girls back in the day, she had knew me so well. She was like, she said, you crazy. Because it was a little meme where it showed like two stick figures and they at the computer. One super mad and the other one just sitting back smiling because you're taking this shit serious. Like, bro, I don't. So what I'm saying is, look, man, like, real life is real life to me. I ain't seeing no, and I'm in Virginia. I'm in the South still. Like, you know, like, it's like, I don't
South,
see
exactly how to.
I mean,
hey guys.
Top of the South.
DC suburb.
Top of the South.
But listen, when I'm saying, like, my experience coming here from Chicago, like, this is a different I'm saying coming from Chicago. So what I'm saying is like, I mean, I'm just not seeing, like, and again, I'm not saying that don't happen, but I mean, listen, man, and I ain't saying that girl should have swung at him or nothing like that, because I wouldn't recommend that. But I mean, people pick and choose who they do stuff. Like, bullies always been bullies. Like I said, if you heard anything about me, my majority of my fights growing up was with bullies that was bullying other people. And the reason why is because I always been little. So if the little dude beat the bully up, your bullying career is over. and I ended a lot of careers. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is like that's what, like I said, when I be seeing those videos you post, they only need the right person there. I'd have had that dude waking up. He would have been swallowing teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like just for nothing that had nothing to do with me. Not on camera.
Well,
Because I got
well, it's gonna be people like that everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that whether it was Trump or not, I mean we got people out here that's gonna act that way. I mean I equate it to like with Caitlin Clark, and I know there's a lot of back and forth with her, and there's a lot of people that jump on board about Caitlin, and I know they'll talk about a lot of racist people or here or there, but at the same time, it's not really just that. I mean, there's people out here that truly like her. You know what I'm saying? They truly like her game, and I mean, it speaks for itself. And does she get special privilege? Maybe she does, but a lot of it is off her skill because she can play. I mean, she truly can play, and it was proven this season.
yeah.
So it ain't she didn't get where she got just because she had she was supposed to go to UConn. You know, that's supposed to be one of the best places out there, but she didn't. She chose not to go there. And so just to play off that for just a minute, go back to what you guys were saying about insulated. Like she didn't leave her hour area or whatever. She stayed there and built up there instead of going to UConn. What about us? What are we going to do as Black people? Are we going to do the plan that we're talking about here, insulated? Are we going to band together to do something like this? Are we going to stick together long enough to make that happen? What
As
y'all think?
long
Let me say
as
We're
something
not
long
real
as
gonna have
money
no
quick.
isn't blowing,
choice. We won't have any choice. Okay. We're in if it's doom and gloom as Roadblock, the position that Roadblock takes as far as Donald Trump go, then let it be.
That's what it's
But
going to
we
take.
do hold up. But we do good under doom and gloom. That's when we excel as a people because when we can't rely on our government, when we can't rely on nobody else but us, we come up with solutions. We are at our best when we face adversity as a people. And that's why that's why I full throated. I was like, I don't care which one of them win. I don't mind Trump winning again. If he get rid of the board of education, that's an opportunity for us to start our own school and school our own children, take them out of this system that we equally agree is terrible. So what are we fighting for? This system was designed to be the way it is. It has operated this way because it was designed this way. No amount of us trying to vote is our vote has never changed at any level. All integration did was allow them to get access to our money. That didn't benefit us. None of our votes in the last 60 years have really benefited us. So with that being said, let's start looking at each other for solutions, not a politician.
Black people
That
should
has,
be independent.
that has always been
There
my
you
stance.
go.
Black
Yep.
That has
people should have
always
been
Wow.
independent.
Look, let me say, did you know something? I always thought Roadblock and how to everybody. It's like I always felt like the mentality that a lot of us have, like the kids go off to go to school, graduate, go off to college, go somewhere else. I feel like I think we would be better off if we had, and I'm not saying this is just hypothetically speaking, but if you had a situation where, like, you got the big mama, and then the age group under that is getting money, but the big mama watching the kids when they come home from school because the working age group is out getting money. We don't need to be set. We need to be as one in our own
Mm.
But
families.
that's African. That's Africans. That's literally what we did in Africa. Like when your parents became of age, they sat down.
Yeah.
They
Mm.
helped take care of the kids while
But that's where it has to start. That's
Yeah,
where
but
we have to start within our own
but
families.
but when we talking
That's what
about
we did.
capitalism,
We didn't have to go
capitalism
back to
is
Africa for that. We've done that here. Historically, that's what we've done.
but
We've
but
gotten
since
away
but
from
since
what we've
but
done
since but
historically.
I understand that how to, but since capitalism has become so apparent and significant in this country and how the economy is, that has been eliminated years ago. That's been eliminated years ago because literally we don't have time because then like grandmama is 40 in a lot of cases. You know what I'm saying? Grandmama's still working.
So,
And then,
one of the things also,
experience, and I can't, like I say, I don't try to invalidate
Man,
anybody's
great
experience.
grandmama is big mama.
How y'all
Yeah.
are,
Group change.
how y'all are in
Yeah.
Ohio is different from how it is down here. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'd equate it to this. They say that other black immigrants outperform black Americans. That statistic has always been misleading because what they do is what we used to do. They don't tell you that it's 7 adults in the house working.
Contributing to the household bills, right? So
you know what I'm saying. So we have to get back to that because we've gone to an individualistic standpoint as a people over the past. I'd say over the past 30 years.
Yeah. Hey, Hot Tub Tony, to piggyback off what you just said, if you look at a lot of the immigrants and a lot of other cultures, right? They'll have 3 or 4 generations in the house contributing.
Yes.
So me, as soon as I turned 18, I want to fuck this. I'm leaving. I want to get my own independence. It's a hard, cold world out there. You got to pay rent. You got to do this. You got to do that. World. And then when I stay at home, I don't want to kick up that 2 Honda, 3 Honda to help out. So now I'm out here struggling. And then everything that goes along with that, sometimes it's a domino effect. So, like you said, in the South and other places and some other things, it's just like, hey, Tub, check this out, right? I ain't saying you got to leave. I know you want your freedoms and everything else, but here's the deal, right? You can't drink the soda till you get down to here because it's flat. You can have it. My happy wrap, cool wrap, everything else. You got your basement. These are the house rules, and you're working. You're gonna kick up $200 to the groceries and everything else. But free yada 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 yada. Or you can go out there and struggle and see how hard it is, and then do that. And then it used to be like you would get on your feet, get established, learn about being an adult and all this other good stuff. And then when you had that nest egg to move out, I was just like, every week you was breaking me off that 2 Hondo from your rent. Well, here, this is extra. Sometimes we don't do that anymore because the economics are different. I put up there when you was talking about us being independent and keeping the money in the community, the Green Book. Desegregation in many ways has killed the black community and black wealth because again, I couldn't spend my money at certain stores. I had no choice but to spend it with Hot Tub, with Roadblock, with Mega.
Right.
Else, right? And then they would go and deal with that other side, right? So if you look at certain ethnic groups and you see how many times their dollar circulates in their community compared to how our dollar circulates in our community. So I'm missing out on that because I want to go and get all this stuff that doesn't mean anything in the long term going towards generational wealth. And again, it goes back to my son. He kind of impressed me, but he's keeping me up. I wanted to go to sleep. Say, hey, Dad, what's compound interest? I was like, well, shit. All right, let's take this journey together.
Yeah.
And it made me get back up on, the things I need to be doing as a man and also as a black man to make sure he's not struggling like I'm struggling because I never had that conversation about balancing a checkbook and all this. Only thing I know I get paid tomorrow. I'm going to get those new whatever that's hot. Right. Cat Williams said it, right? I'm going to let my son make a pimp decision. You get a PlayStation 5 or you get Atari 2600. You get Atari 2600, $200, you get 26 games. PlayStation 5, all you're going to do is get that PlayStation. I'm going to let you make a pimp decision, And when we start putting it like that, or you start seeing that delayed gratification and everything else, and it's hard, man. I want to go out and get that latest gun and go do this and do that, but do I really need it? And it's hard to break that mental slavery that I'm sitting in because I'm not building generational wealth. If I drop dead today, I got $100,000 car after I pay off all the interest and everything else. If I drop dead today, hopefully you brothers will be wearing a T-shirt with my name on it, having to GoFundMe to put me in the ground. Shouldn't live like that. Come on, what's wrong? What is
That's
wrong?
another thing. That's the other thing. Do we buy insurance? Like, do we buy insurance?
I got life insurance. I got 3 life insurance.
Our family
right across.
But I'm just using me as
across the board. Like, as a culture.
Yeah, but
are we doing that? Are we talking about that? Are we pushing that?
Yeah, as a culture, you got people because it was I knew somebody that died not too long ago, and it was literally like go fund me up.
Yeah.
We trying to bury such and such and such and such, and I'm just like, life insurance, man. And we know people in the hood that came about the hood that's selling life insurance right now. Like, you knew this dude was selling life insurance. So why don't we have that? I got life insurance through my job and through my boy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like so because as much as I travel, I work in a dangerous environment. Like we had a dude die last year.
Yeah.
Get ran over by a machine.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey,
Oh,
so it's not
man.
only life insurance without health
yeah,
insurance.
man. Health
Without
insurance,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
You
I
know,
don't
That's
so
how
much
it be,
So look, and let's go back to we talk about with Trump, right? So they're going. So we talk about health insurance. He got the House and the Senate right now. So there's no guardrails to what they can. Nobody can oppose what he's saying because he basically got a bunch of yes men in the House and the Senate that's gonna go along with whatever he say. Right?
they still
So
got
now we talk about healthcare, the ACA, Affordable Care Act. I know a bunch of people that got healthcare through the Affordable Care Act. What are they going to do? Are they going to eliminate a period? Are they going to make it better? Are they going to
I know
add
people
some stuff?
got a lot more expensive after that. After they had to get like the prices of the medicines and stuff.
No, because what they
I know some.
because all I know is what Biden and them, what Biden did was he made insulin and shit $35 a month.
Just that.
Because they was paying damn near $1,200 a month for insulin. You know what I'm saying? So
about that.
What are we going? And this is what I hope, and this is what I hope and pray. I hope that Trump's ego wants to make shit better in the way that they say, "Hey, well, Biden did this. You should do this to make it better." They play into that. So, and it feeds into his ego. So he be like, "Yeah, I'm about to be the best. I'm about to do this. I'm about to make all healthcare
what you think about
to a certain extent."
What you think about RFK with the things he want to do, like remove?
It's not 100% that he gonna get that position.
I mean, but if we're just going off if like I said, if we going off what he's saying, because if we're gonna go off, he said this and that. If we're gonna go off what he said right now, he's saying that he's gonna let RFK be, and the RFK already said the first things he want to do, remove fluoride from the water, like the same 100 ingredients that's banned in Europe and the UK. He want them ingredients banned from all foods. I mean, I don't know. Like you said, we gotta see. But
look, as who the fuck I am, Roadblock, I am gonna sit here and watch. And I will give an honest assessment. Now I will put my distaste for Trump aside, and I will give an honest assessment. If I'm gonna give him 2 years, and I'm gonna see what he do, right? Because there's gonna be good and bad in his administration. Now we're gonna have to weigh that good and that bad and see where we at. That's gonna be our major determining factor on whether we can say his re-election was a success. And I mean, I don't know, man. I'm cautiously pessimistic. I ain't gonna say optimistic. I'm cautiously pessimistic.
I think even with the Elon thing of coming and cleaning up like the government efficiency, how they call it. But like now, if we're gonna say this, Elon took over Twitter, fired 66% of the staff, and did not stop moving a beat. Like, so I think if things like this, because I do feel like we all agree the ATF overreaching. They overdoing stuff. People, they got too many departments, but it's too many people that we did not elect that's making rules of what we got to do. I ain't feeling that. So if they're saying they're gonna clean that up and get this, I mean, like you said again, we got to see. Because I mean, this how I felt right quick, Roadblock. Because I really felt like the fix was in for Kamala. I'm keeping it all the way real, and the reason why is because when you challenge the FDA, which means you're challenging Big Pharma. Big Pharma makes the food to make you sick to need Big Pharma. I understand why they do it, how it works, but my thing is when you're challenging all of that, it's deeper than just being a president. With it, it's like, yo, you challenge everything.
Be careful because he also said that Mexico was gonna pay for the wall. It's a lot of it. Like both parties do the same shit. I can tell you whatever the fuck you want to hear before I get elected. But when I get elected,
they play to our emotions.
yeah, they play to our
Yep.
emotions. You see how you just got hyped up right there? They
What I'm
play
saying,
to our
the thing with them,
emotions about a
these are
lot of
things
this
we
shit.
never heard. These are things we never heard. Like everybody say he's
But
not a
but it's a reason why he's the greatest con man and the greatest greatest con man in the world, because I'm going to tell you shit that you've never. That's what a snake oil salesman was. He came to your village, he came to your town, and he told you shit you had. I'm gonna make your thing last all night.
But it's
Your
like
woman gonna be in there. She go with this rattlesnake root that I got that I milked from a rattlesnake. I milked it myself. I milked it myself. It's gonna make you last all night, and then you take it, and then your pinky toe fall off, and you say, "Wait a minute."
I got something to fix that though.
That's why I say, like,
Right.
he put a lot on the table. He put a lot on the table, so we got to see. I mean, like, like I said, it's here now. It's here now.
But see, but I'll let you know this right now. He only got 4 years.
Yeah, that's
what
what
I was telling you the whole time.
He only got 4 years.
That's what I was telling you the whole time.
No.
You told me he was gonna be King Trump.
Hot tub. Listen,
yeah, he did say this gonna be the last election.
So what you saying is, and I know what you're talking about. So he's talking about shit that has to be implemented over a long course of time, right? He like doing the FDA and all that shit that has to be implemented over a long period of time, maybe 5 to 6 years. This shit has to be implemented over, because the way the government works like molasses. That shit just don't turn over like that. However, we talking about Trump. When he was in office the first time, right? Everybody said, "Oh, well, if he was in office already, he would have did it already." That's not necessarily true, because when he was in office, you had Mike Milley, Maddox, you had all these people that stood in the way of what he was trying to do. That's why he said, "I wish I had generals like Hitler," because not because of they was killing Jews and shit like that. He said that because those generals did what the fuck he told them to do. So when you're talking about he's going back into office now, he has learned his lessons from the first time he was in office. So everybody that he's going to put in place are going to be people who are going to call him their leader. Literally, people who are going to do whatever they want him, whatever he want them to do. Just like JD Vance. They asked JD Vance before when he took the vice president. He says, like, would you have certified the election? He said no. He said no. I wouldn't have did that, because that's what Pence did. Pence certified the election.
Let me say this.
So he's going to pick people who's going to.
Roadblock, I threw it out there now.
So go ahead.
I'm consistent when I say this. I'm not agreeing with Mega. I'm not agreeing with you. I am a true independent. So when I tell you what Trump did was, in his first term, he spread the hate to everybody. I'm a person to the mindset that where if we can't all be comfortable, we're gonna all be equally uncomfortable. The Democrats make everybody else comfortable except for the black community. I always keep everyone in these discussions is gonna always come back to my community when you're dealing with me, because I'm black. I have to deal with what affects me and benefits me the most. So if he does what he did in his first term, and if he true to his word, he gets rid of the illegals and he spreads it out through everybody. Everybody's in pain the same way. So be it. I'm cool with that. If he don't go up, then it's gonna be a fight. And if it go devolve down to civil war, I'm okay with that. So be it. Because this is gonna play out however it's gonna play out. But what I'm not gonna do is allow and this is what goes back, and this is why I get on the Democrats so heavy. I'm not going to allow you to keep putting us in a position to where we have to choose the lesser of two evils. That's what's been happening. And the Democrats rely on a Donald Trump. They rely on bad candidate, the Republicans, to do what the Republican Party is known to do. instead of them actually solving stuff. I got on the Democrats because everything you deserve Trump at this point in time, because you had 4 years to deal with Trump and everybody from the January 6th, but you chose to softball him when he got in there. If you'd have locked him up then, hey, you wouldn't be dealing with this now, but you didn't. If you'd have
locked him up,
black folks, hold on. If you'd have helped black folks when we told you what we need, and this was prior to us demanding reparations, when we told you we wanted a police accountability bill, when we wanted a civil rights bill, the same as what you gave to Asians, you could have gave that to us and put the election as a lock. You didn't. You chose as a party to go against our interests for the interests of everybody else who don't vote for you on a consistent basis. So you're getting what you deserve. My non-vote was less of an endorsement for Trump as it was as a refutation of the Democratic Party as a whole. I just want my community. I want us to get out of this situation where what they're going to do with this election, what they're going to do with this election. Work on us. Don't matter what everybody else do. Let's take this opportunity while Trump is settling his political scores, because his first 2 years is going to be that. He's going at all his routes. Let's take this opportunity while the heat is not on us, while the government as a whole has taken their foot off our neck for just a second, and get our internal affairs in order. That's what my position is on this. Let's start getting our kids in place to build generational wealth. Like you say, insurance. Let's start pushing that to our people. Let's look at the black church, because what we haven't done is an assessment of the black church, because what I saw during this election from the black church is shameful. And considering that the biggest wealth generator in our community is the black church, and none of that money circulates in a black bank at none of these churches, it's shameful. So we need to start doing an internal audit of all our institutions and ourselves. And
so when you talking about coming together
right now for the black community.
So when you talk about coming together, that's the main issue with the black community is
man, you preaching now. Let me get the organ out.
That money is the main reason why the black community is not going to come together or can't come together, because you got people I swear you can't come together because these niggas wanna take money. But
Reverend Lonnie Love can show up.
I say so you got these pastors, you got these pimps in the pulpit that literally sit there all day, collect that money, and like you said, they do not circulate that in no national bank, because there is no reason why $3.8 billion that is collected a year, what was it, 6 months in the black community does not circulate throughout the black community and does not benefit, because there should be a bank. It should be a black bank.
There are black banks.
Like a first-time home buyer, a first-time family of home, like they about to buy their first house, shouldn't go to the bank and be like, hey, we want to buy a house. Hey, we got you. Y'all been an upstanding citizen of this church. We gonna give you all this loan and go about your business. Nobody does that. Money is corruptible, man. I'm telling you, man. It's in politics. What they say, Bezos and Elon Musk was giving Trump $50 million. Shit, if you spoke up, you have 2 black senators who was literally out, representatives that was literally speaking out against what was going on in Gaza, and AIPAC literally took their seats from them.
Yeah, cut off the funding. Yeah. So speaking of black church, right? Speaking of black church, like I just ask your opinion. I don't put anyone on the spot. What's your thought like on these mega churches and these pastors, leaders of these mega churches, driving in?
They should all be disbanded.
Got airplanes and all this other stuff, and it's just like, well, let me see your W-2 because we got a tier system. Based on how much you make, this is what you got to contribute and all this other stuff. And
they pimping. They're pimping.
Yeah.
That's all it is. They're pimping. They're pimping the community.
Yeah.
We've always had this. This is a problem that even goes back to slavery when you're dealing with the black church. The black church was instituted during slavery to keep us in a mental state of slavery. They taught that black preacher just enough to justify slavery. That tradition has not ended. When rolling into from the early 1900s all the way up to the 1960s and 70s, we saw when you can't pimp, when a pimp can't pimp no more, where he go? Straight into the pulpit.
Straight to the pulpit. 85% of the people in church is females.
Hey, would you say Pimp Lucius, right?
This is a big problem in our community. I say it's exacerbated now because now the church don't even have no morals.
Nah.
I'm gonna tip my toe in this, and y'all, if I'm going too far,
shit.
It was absolutely shameful that y'all allowed this lady to come in church and advocate for killing black babies. You're not arguing for reproductive rights. You're arguing for the right to kill a child. Let's stop calling it what it ain't. Let's call it what it is. But you got 30-something forms of birth control. You don't need an abortion. If you don't want the child, take the morning after pill. If it ain't rape or incest or something like that, or the health of a mother, those are the only three I can see. Because
learn how to pull out something other than your credit card or a couch.
Because since they legalized, since Roe v. Wade, we've lost 80 million black babies. 80 million.
Education.
40 million. We had a 40 million population.
Education.
So speaking of that, let's look at the origins of Planned Parenthood. Margaret Sanger, right?
We all know
one of a diehard eugenics fan and everything else.
She taught Hitler.
Yeah, also closely tied to the Democratic Party, right? But no. So speaking of Hitler, Hitler modeled a lot of his policies after segregation and racism in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we had it down pat back during the 30s and everything else, but we're not gonna. I don't think this is the live for that conversation, But again, I think you four, 1, 2, 3, 4, you four guys up there, we just need to keep this going and everything else, and have these conversations where we're not yelling, we're not arguing, and try to reach out and talk to more people or listen to them and get that understanding. I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just trying to give you information. You're a grown man. You're going to do what you want to do.
One thing you just said, do it. Now, as much as being roadblock, go back for that's just good. That just must.
Yeah, that's just hot tub Tony and roadblock.
Yeah, we gonna do that. But at the end of the day, we always ended on a respectful note.
Yeah. No, and you two aren't like how like some people get heated and everything else.
Yeah.
Like you guys got difference of opinions. You're not disrespectful. You're not this or whatever. You're not yelling. I think if anyone's been interruptive, it's me. But again, I really think we need to have more of these conversations.
Yes.
And once we get that conversation down with ourselves, and then we can have that conversation with other people. Because I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm not trying to marry your daughter. I'm just trying to let you know that, hey, I got the same concerns that you got and everything else. And yeah, I like raisins and the macaroni and cheese. Fight me. Fight me.
Hey, man, I'm about to argue with your ass right now.
You got the number, call me, Roadblock. You got the number, call me. I can tell you.
Hey, man.
Can I say something about this? Can I say something about the number of votes?
I want everybody to ratchet it down, because one thing I've been consistent on with this whole thing is I didn't care who won, because the next day I got to get up and be black in America.
I got to go to work the next day.
And I want everybody, because what I seen today all across the internet, that shit was ridiculous. Stop falling out with your people for politicians that don't.
But that was gonna happen regardless. Whoever won, somebody was gonna be crying on somebody's side because somebody that they didn't want to win was gonna win. This dude at my job said that he wasn't gonna come to work for 2 weeks if Kamala Harris won. He said, I ain't coming to work. I'm gonna use my vacation because I'm gonna have to process this.
That's more
Are you
overtime for
serious?
me.
But
That's overtime for me.
that's their business that they want to do that. If you
I
don't
see
like the
people
state,
crying.
don't like the state of the election, and you feel that strongly about it, leave.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ain't nobody going nowhere.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Look,
Where you gonna go?
Then
Where you
take
gonna
it down
go?
a notch, and let's try to find some common ground. But like I say, I don't like the fact that in our community we allowed a party to come in and put a gender divide in there and divide the whole household. I saw
Yeah.
black folks falling out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it
I didn't
shouldn't get
like
to that
that.
point, people.
And it was stoked. We fell out with Janet as a community. We fell out with Janet Jackson. We've known Janet Jackson since 1960. That's Penny.
I had a picture of her. I had that picture of her when the dude came around the poster. And he had her hands on her things like that. Boy, I said that's been in my room since been pimping. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah.
If
You
this
can't never make me hate you, man.
we didn't know her. We didn't know her. She's a politician.
Yeah.
Don't let no politician break up your family.
But that's social media. That's social media.
We love them. We love your people. Don't fall out with your people. My mama took a hard stance for the Democrats. She didn't like my stance at all. But at the end of the day, I argued with my mom like I argued with Roadblock. But at the end of that argument, guess what? Give her a hug, Mom. I love you. On this we part ways, but you still my mom.
Yeah, we got a couple comments down in here too, Sean. I appreciate Sean too from Oregon, right? Let me go back and look at that again. I think he was out there from Oregon, and he had something to say about that state. Let me see. Okay, Sean from Oregon, our solidly blue state. Honored to be with you. Thank you very much for saying that. Democratic Party has a bright future in his view, and then also listening and say hoping to see progress on diverse fronts. Hoping Trump's time, notably in American medicine. Thanks for asking. Okay. All right. And then Andre Carr's out here too. Who remembers Trump ever working a regular 9 to 5 minimum wage? Don't see him helping the average Joe. Ain't like us. Oh, okay. Thoughts, guys.
I mean,
Hey, none of them
he literally told Elon Musk in the live. He said any striking union member should be fired. That was a candid response that Trump had to Elon Musk. I am a union member. I am a Teamster. I took that to heart. He went to Detroit, Michigan during the auto worker strike. He rented out a hall and paid non-union members to pose as union members up here and to act like he was at a union rally. That's what Trump did. He literally told his people, I hated paying overtime.
With Roadblock, he's gonna have a chance to address that because
he not, because ain't nobody gonna hold that man accountable for shit.
Listen to what I'm saying, brother. You have longshoremen. They didn't come to an agreement. It said a pause. So they can come to an agreement in January. Yeah. And if they don't come to an agreement in January, they're gonna strike again.
Hey, can I say something?
What you talking about?
The longshoremen.
So when we had an agreement,
they're different from us.
But I'm a Teamster. So right,
I understand that longshoremen are different.
I understand that, man. Listen to what I'm saying.
Go ahead, bro.
We was on strike. We didn't have an agreement for 6 years under Trump. It was under Trump. Trump refused to negotiate with the Teamsters. The only time we got a contract signed was under Biden. Yeah, we got our sick pay.
You're not listening.
Sick pay, and we got everything else that we wanted.
My union. Hold on. You said 6 years. Trump was only president for 4.
No. It was the 2 years. It was 3 years under Trump and the 3 years under Biden, and then that third it was like 2.5 years under Biden. That's when we signed the agreement.
So that you got to split that. But hey, let me say one thing.
We in the same. We that was my union went on strike the same time. If you remember.
Hey, let me say one thing though, right? You just said that he hired people to act like union people and everything else. All right, I don't agree with that, man. But I'm going to hit you where it hurts, man. Kamala Harris said she remember cooking collard greens and preparing them in the bathtub.
We don't do that. Black people do not do
raisins
that.
in the macaroni and cheese.
So look, that but see, hold on. So my thing is that Kamala Harris shit with the greens. I don't give a fuck about that because that don't mess with my paybook. That don't mess with my paycheck. The Trump shit. He went up there. He tried to act like he went up there and tried to act like he was a union dude and he was for the union and he wasn't for the union. Motherfuckers act like they were for the union.
Hey,
Roblox, you're arguing an election that has already happened. It's
done. No. What I'm saying is that God damn it, I don't give a fuck that the election happened. What I'm saying is,
you're not listening, dog. See?
I am listening, man.
No, I'm going somewhere with it. I'm trying
to. So I was talking, and then you cut me off, and then inserted yourself into what I was saying. So
how about one at a time, Joe?
Go ahead, get off.
I'm just telling you, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying he has an opportunity to prove himself. The longshoremen went on strike. To avoid that strike, they did a temporary pause that the president can step in to any time a union of critical infrastructure goes on strike. The president can come in and order them to stand down for 90 days to continue to work while they work out an agreement. The president has that power. That 90-day period is up in January. So I'm saying, I'm not arguing with you that he's going to do something. I'm saying he has that opportunity to prove himself to the unions in January. That's going to be one of the first things he's going to have to deal with when he becomes president. I think that happened 3 days after he becomes president, that agreement ends. So let's see what he do before we pass judgment. If he don't do it, I'm going to be right there with you because the same accountability that I held to Kamala Harris, I plan on holding Trump to.
Yeah.
I'm not beholden to a party. I'm not beholden to a politician. So you going to get this work just like everybody else. That's all I'm saying to you. Stop trying to relitigate it. It's over and it's done with.
I'm not trying to relitigate it. What I'm saying is that people, my ultimate point was people don't actually listen to what this nigga says. That's my whole point. My whole point was what I was trying to get to is people are emotional and they don't actually listen to what he says. They don't hold him accountable for shit. But they held Kamala Harris accountable for everything that she said and everything that Biden said, but they never hold Trump accountable for anything. The motherfucker literally sat up there and said, I don't regret anything in my first term. Nothing. 1 million people died. He don't regret anything. Nothing. So all I'm saying is we actually
he get held a lot for what he said.
No, he does not. Not by his people. Hold on.
Yeah, not by his people.
Not by the people.
Democrats don't say nothing about Kamala.
Shit. What? Nobody voted for it. So what you mean they don't hold her accountable?
I mean, that's
what do you mean?
That was her being held to account.
It was pumping her. I'm talking about before the election. They was
held her to account.
That don't mean shit compared to who supports who, because they can pump her up. But there are literally people who are falling off the Democratic Party by the drove saying, I don't support this shit. I don't support her. I don't support her. But the same people who voted for Trump and still voted for that nigga now. And actually more people are voting for Trump now. More people, like you have black men coming out there saying, hey, I'm voting for Trump. Hey, but when you ask them what his policy was, they sit they naked ass up there and say he gave us a $1,200 stimulus check.
I ain't never said
what the fuck.
I've never heard anybody say that.
I heard many people say that shit. What are you talking about? I heard many people say that shit.
I heard some people say it.
I heard a whole lot of people say, he gave us a $1,200 stimulus check. Hell yeah, I'm voting for him.
I heard people say that. Yeah, I heard people say that. But
thank you.
To me, that wasn't what that ain't what did it for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, To be real with you, like I mean, it's like I said, it was a lot of different things for my situation. So I don't know, I mean, like everybody say, people vote. Like that's why I say like people vote for their best interest. Especially for me, I just went to school to become a gunsmith. 2 months after school, I'm working within my profession that I went to school for, and I'm not gonna vote for somebody talking about a mandatory buyback and all this, that, and the other. That's not within my best interest for my paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that was one of the real driving forces for me, just keeping it all the way real.
Hey, vote your wallet.
Roadblock.
vote your wallet.
I'm gonna throw this out. I said that from the jump. I'm gonna throw this out there to you, Roadblock. There's a lot of Democrats that go both ways. There's a lot of Democrats couldn't articulate Kamala Harris's policies. She couldn't articulate her own policies.
Hey, remember I told you to go on her website and check out her shit?
I went on her website, bro. I seen a lot of I seen a lot of people of color.
Did you see the black man policy?
What I did not see was what she was specifically going to do. I'm a stick for black people. I'm a stickler.
Dude, I really don't.
Stickler for wording. So when
that lets me know that you didn't.
When I see minority, when I see people of color, then my antennas go off because that's not for.
Did you actually look at the plan that she had for black men?
Yes, I looked at that.
So it says, and I showed. Remember 411. Remember 411 when I told you
black men
about the last live that we had, and I told you about her plan for black men, and I told you that it's specifically. Hold on. I'm talking to 411. 911 on your ass. Hush. Now I said, look up her plan for black men. It literally says in her plan, black men. Every key point it says black men. That's how I know. And that's how I know this big motherfucker ain't looked, because it literally says that shit in the notes. And all you gotta do is look at it. Go ahead and look it up.
She also said she was gonna ban fracking. Then she said she wasn't gonna ban fracking. She also said she was gonna do the mandatory buyback.
Trump said that he was for abortion, and then he said he was pro-choice. He was pro.
We were just talking about her.
All politicians flip flop. Trump does too.
So what am I supposed to think about her in the last minute saying what she was going to do for black men?
So Trump does.
He didn't run off saying what she was going to do for black men. She threw that in the last minute when she wasn't going to do it.
What's Trump's plan for black men?
Nothing. But nobody voted for
I ain't trying to hear that shit. I ain't trying to hear that shit.
Americans, yo.
I ain't trying to know. Fuck that. You see what Hot Tub? You see what I'm saying, Hot Tub? You have people sit up here. You got Republicans. They say what's good for America.
I don't agree with that, man. I've said this for jump street. Everybody do what's in the best interest of your own group. I made a decision based on the best interest of my group. My best interest was to sit it out. I didn't see anything that Trump was offering to black men. The same as I didn't see anything that he was that Kamala Harris was offering. So neither one of them got my vote. That's my stance.
I know people.
Hold on, but for both of y'all, I will say this: it's over. It don't matter what she shoulda, coulda, woulda did. It didn't happen because, and I told you, Roadblock, anything that she promised to do, she should have did it now when she was in office and able to do it.
What is the role of a vice president?
When you took over, okay.
What is the role of the vice president?
When you took over for Biden,
y'all told us
that Biden was incompetent.
Well, no.
So that makes her.
So look, I'm gonna tell you this. Maybe Joe Biden can't talk in front of a group of people or something like that. But understand this. But hold on. Hot Tub.
Hey, guys.
Hold on. Biden had.
We'll do the horn. We'll do a horn thing. I got a referee whistle. So we'll do one at a time. So you both got good points here, good banter. We just want to make sure we both sides get it off there, okay? All right, so we can pick up now. So okay, so Hot Tub, go ahead, and then we're gonna let Roadblock counter it.
Like I said before, once you knew, and that goes for Biden too. Anything that you promised the black community, there was nothing stopping you from doing it during your first 4 years. So when you come to us and made those promises, they fall on deaf ears at the time, because we watched what you did for Asians. We watched what you did for illegals. We watched what you did for the country of Ukraine. We watched what you did for Israel. But we're your voter base. So when you don't do something for us and tell us, "I get you next time, I get you next time," that doesn't inspire a whole lot of confidence for us to turn out and vote. That's why we did it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So any promises that she made when she became the nominee, guess what? You didn't distinguish yourself from Biden. You went on TV and said, my policies are Biden's policy. That's essentially what she said. So I hold you to the same standard I held Biden. When you took over, y'all told us, basically the Democratic Party said Joe Biden wasn't smart enough, he wasn't firm enough. Whatever was the problem with him, he could not run for re-election. At that point in time, my only assumption was, well, I guess she's in charge. Come to find out, nobody been in charge. The country just running on autopilot right now.
Tesla.
But for whatever it is, if you promise something while you're in charge, and that goes for Trump too, once you get in there, Trump, you promise to get rid of illegals. If you don't do it, that's on you. You can't blame where the Democrats did this. It don't fucking matter. You're in charge right now. I hold whoever's in charge is who gets held to account. That's my stance.
Thanks to so now you want to respond to that Roadblock?
All right, so name who was Bill Clinton's vice president?
Al Gore.
Al Gore.
Who was the first Bush's vice president?
Dan Quayle, the first one.
Who was John Kennedy's vice president?
Kennedy was Lyndon B. Johnson.
Yeah.
While they were vice presidents, what the fuck did they do?
Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act.
No, he was president at the time.
What did Dick Cheney do?
He was president at the time.
What did Dick Cheney do as vice president?
So Dick Cheney shot a dude in the face.
Dick Cheney was the warmonger.
Yeah,
he was the warmonger, just like everybody else, because of 9/11. So when you think about it, I'm all right.
Oh, bro. Okay, Robot. Go ahead.
My bad.
Okay, Robot. This is your space now.
My bad, bro. My bad.
I'm on mute.
So the vice president's job is to do whatever the fuck the president tells you to do. Your job is like you are the president is the president is the president of a company. The vice president is the spokesman. You literally go out there and talk to the people and you tell the people what the president told you to tell them. You don't go out there off the cuff and make up your own rules. You do whatever the hell the president tell you to do. That's your job as the vice president. So yeah, she can have thoughts in her mind and say, I think we might want to do this a little better, but ultimately the shit comes down to the president. Now y'all can say that Biden was incoherent and all this other shit. That motherfucker had more bipartisan bills than Trump ever had. It was like 5-1. More bipartisan bills under Biden than Trump. Period. Them is facts. So all I'm saying is y'all can sit here and say that Biden was this and Biden was that. Now, mind you, Biden can't talk in front of a group of people. That motherfucker sit there and stutter and stammer and do all this shit. But behind them closed doors, he had motherfuckers moving around and doing what they had to do. Bipartisan bills. That's what they had. So then, say what?
You really think it was him making the moves behind the scene?
Why would who you got proof that says somebody else?
If it's behind the scene, we don't got proof.
If you got proof that says it's somebody else, please let me know.
I'm just saying, if it's behind the scene, nobody has proof.
Exactly, you don't have proof because all you can attribute to it is Biden administration. Because if you think about it, Biden has been making deals and been going back and forth for years since he's been in the government. He's been going back and forth making deals for years. That's what he's been doing. So all I'm saying is y'all quick to say that he can't do this and he can't do that, but steadily he had some of the most bipartisan bills of any president in 30 years. So all I'm saying is the president sets the standard, the vice president follows suit. Y'all say, why didn't Kamala Harris do this shit while she was vice president? What the fuck was she supposed to do? Because if you notice, Joe Biden is not a progressive Democrat. He's a center Democrat. He's a center-left Democrat. And one of those dudes controlled by corporate entities. He's not going to go super left on a whole lot of shit. He ain't going to do that. And that's the problem with the problem with a whole lot of Democrats losing a whole lot of shit, because they don't do what the ground force wants them to do. Like reparations, that's far left. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. But I digress, and I'll leave it alone. I made my points.
Let me
facts, man.
Let me just say this, but it's like I don't understand how. I mean, if he did so much, you know, and he was running all these deals, and you just said we're saying he's incoherent. The Democrats said he was incoherent and moved him off the ticket. That ain't just us saying it. The Democrats' own party said it. The top people in his party. So what I'm saying is, don't just say we saying he incoherent. They said he was incoherent. When he went in front of the dude, he said he can't go to trial because they would look at him as an old man who, you know, he doesn't remember things well. So it's not just us. It's not the Republicans. It's not the Republican supporters. It was his own people that was also saying it. Let's not leave that out. And then I just want to say, since we talk about Biden, they put out the amount of votes casted over the last 6 elections. 2004, little over 121 million.
Christ, man.
2008, little over, when Barack's first time, which makes sense, 129 million. 2012, 126 million. 2016, 128 million. 2020, 155 million. 2024, 129 million and still counting. 155 million. So that 1 year, the COVID year, when people were locked down and people were dying, the most votes cast. I mean, like, you know, if they didn't do that in 2020, we'd be done with Trump right now.
No, what basically is a bunch of people who, because he told y'all the only way that he'll lose if they cheat. He told y'all that in September in 2020. He told y'all that the only way that I could lose is if they cheat. He planted that seed in people's minds, and y'all ran with that shit. Y'all literally ran with that shit until he lost. And then y'all sat there and said, oh my God, he told us the only way that he could lose is if they cheated.
Roadblock.
The reason why, I just told y'all.
And let me say this.
A lot of people didn't vote.
I wasn't a Trump supporter at all back then. At all. The only time.
So what?
I'm just saying, listen, my support for Trump came in these years under Biden. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only times I ever voted was the first 2 times for Barack. That's why, like I said, that's why I didn't want to do identity politics again, because that's the first and second time I ever voted, and he did more for a whole nother community that ain't ours. That, you know what I'm saying? So, like, that was my first time doing the identity politic thing. That's why I didn't see the benefit in doing it again. That's, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't supporting Trump. Like, when you saying back in 2020, we were saying he planted the seed to cheat. I wasn't even thinking about him like that in 2020 when he ran. Just keeping it real.
But you still susceptible to that shit now, though.
No, I'm just the numbers look funny. Listen. I mean, these are numbers. If people say men lie, women lie, numbers don't. If the numbers, why the numbers are so high? That just
why do you think all those people voted against? Do you think those people voted for Biden or against Trump?
Why they didn't do it this year?
Because it was fucking Kamala Harris and wasn't nobody voting for Kamala Harris. We've been talking about that for 2 hours.
Did 20 million more people die? The 20 million people die. I'm just saying, like, all I'm saying is this. Listen, when Joe Biden won the first time, I remember my own family saying people were so scared of Trump, they would not have made sure.
Okay, let me ask you this. If they went and stole the election in 2020, why didn't they do it this year?
It wasn't as easy. You had to.
Oh man, stop it, dude. That don't even make no sense because you can't implement your shit in only 4 years. You got to literally have 8 years to actually implement what you really want to get done. So why not just steal the election this year and then keep going with the shit? Because the story really could have been, oh my God, we got the first Indian or black female president, and let's put her out there. That would have been a great story for years to come. So why not steal it this year?
Roadblock.
If you
the
said
shit don't make no sense, man.
Roadblock. Now I've been
shit don't make no sense, man.
I'm just talking about the numbers, man. It just looks funny.
Said something, Roadblock. You said, well, a president can't get anything done in their first 4 years. The Asians got a hate crime bill.
The Asians did not get a hate crime bill. It's against the law. It's against the law to specifically mandate a bill for.
Let me talk. See, I muted myself. So you can get your point.
Go ahead, man.
Okay, mute yourself. So the Asians got a hate crime bill, and it's called an AAPI bill. That is the Asian Pacific Islander, because when you read the bill, it says AAPI everywhere in there. It says Asian. Nowhere does it say black, nowhere does it say brown, nowhere does it say white. Okay, Ukraine got $6.1 billion in count. Okay, immigration. The immigrants been getting shit tons of money in every state they show up at the behest of the Democratic Party. Don't say what a president can't do. And then let's take it back to Donald Trump in his first term. He used the fuck out of executive orders. He executive ordered everything. So you can push your agenda in 4 years. Now, I'm going to address something Joe Val put in there. The Japanese absolutely did get reparations under Reagan. Reparations may not be popular to the general public, but neither was gay marriage. Neither was integration. Most bills that end up being law don't start out having popular support. Just because certain segments of society don't like it doesn't mean it won't happen. It's on us to make it happen. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Now, all of this back and forth that you and Beck are doing, relitigating this election, it's over. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. He won. We got to deal with him going forward. That's why you didn't see me on Instagram gloating about it. This is not a win for us. This is not a win to me. The win I got out of this was a repudiation of the Democrats' policies and not listening to their biggest voter bloc, Black America. And Black America showed you, okay, since you don't want to listen, we're not going to vote for you. That's the only win that I saw out of it. So now, Trump, the onus is on you. Whatever you going to do it. If you're not going to do it, you're going to get the same level of smoke from me that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden got. And I land my plane.
You know what I see as a win too, though? Like, what I like is the fact that mainstream media don't got the power they had. That's a good thing. They thought they could control everything. They thought that Trump being Hitler, him a fascist, they thought that was going to be enough. More people, like, look, the one interview that Trump did with Joe Rogan more than doubled all the Kamala Harris interviews combined. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that shows you that we ain't listening to that no more. The future generations are not going to be watching MSNBC, CNN, and just going off what they say no more. It's a more diverse media base out here, yo. It's not what it used to be. And I'm telling you, because it was the mainstream mediums that was that like, who was it? I think it was Ben Carson who said that what we're about to witness in this election is the power of the media. Because if they can take who was ranked the worst vice president in modern American history and turn her into the best thing, then that means the media still controls things. And so I think that's one of the biggest wins I see. One of the wins I see out of that. Yo, we have to change the same way like Joe Biden and everybody's saying we got to have more of these conversations. This is where the truth at, bro.
Yep.
This is the truth fact. The truth ain't on CNN, and they getting a check too and being told what to say too, because you can see the different collages of multiple news channels saying the exact same script, the same inflection, everything. He's a threat to democracy. He's a threat to, but this will be a threat to our democracy. This will be a threat to our democracy. This will be a threat to our democracy. This will be like, I mean, it's like, bro, that shit, nobody's believing that shit no more. That's what I see as a win. That shit is old. Only old people watch cable TV and shit like that. Like me, I'm keeping it real, bro. I don't have cable, nothing. I got a Fire Stick if I want to watch a fight or something on pay-per-view or whatever like that. And I watch YouTube. That's all I watch. Me personally. You know what I'm saying?
More people watch Fox News than any other network in this country combined. MSNBC, CNN, all that shit. More people watch Fox News than all of those cable providers combined.
Because they full of shit.
Fox News is?
No, I'm saying the other shit that lose.
No, but see, is Fox News not mainstream media?
Yeah, they full of shit. I mean, listen, I'm not saying they just on the other side.
Come on, man. I just look.
Listen, bro. When you got a multitude, you saying one Fox. You got CNN,
what did I say?
ABC, CBS. That's a big difference, bro.
But what did I say? I said, but they watch more people between the ages of 35 and 70 watch more Fox News than every other news channel combined. Why is that? It's because Fox News is peddling the same amount of bullshit and lies that any other entity does. They just do it on the other side. So when that white dude, that 70-year-old, 80-year-old white dude shot that black kid in the face for knocking on his door, that's one of them white dudes that sat there and watched Fox News all day, every day, and he was paranoid that black people was coming to kick in his door. So what the fuck did he do? He pulled out his gun. He didn't answer. He didn't say hello, who was there. He shot that boy in the head. That's what Fox News does. That's what Fox News does. So I ain't trying to hear that bullshit about CNN, da. No. Fox News literally got these motherfuckers out here shooting black kids in the face just for knocking on the door because they was lost. I ain't trying to hear it, bro.
I
ain't trying to hear it, man.
I ain't seen that message.
I ain't trying to hear it.
Where's the facts on that message?
I ain't trying to hear it, man.
Where the Fox News? Where the facts? You say you always about receipts. Where the facts to that? Show me
the facts is because the facts is because on Fox News they literally show all day, every day black people doing fucked up shit. That's all they show. Fucking Sean Hannity, Bill O'Reilly when he was on there. Man, who you talking about? Who was the dude with the bow tie? Hot Tub, I know you know who I'm talking about. Tucker Carlson. Come on, man.
I'm saying, are you saying that's only?
I can't even have a logical.
CNN don't show black people committing crimes. You saying CNN don't show black people committing crimes?
No, bro.
MSNBC don't show black people.
No, all of them do. No, there's no difference.
Okay.
No, there is a difference.
All of them do the same thing.
He said they don't show black people committing crimes.
So when I tell y'all, when the facts is that Fox News #1 viewership is older people from 50 to 70, 75. Those are their #1 viewership. They watch that shit all day, every day. That black kid came and knocked on that man's door and he shot that boy in the face. They got these motherfuckers paranoid. They got them paranoid. So look, hey man, all you got to do is go on Tucker Carlson and listen to what he says. All you got to do is go on Sean Hannity and listen to what he says. Man, they was talking about Barack Obama giving Michelle Obama a Muslim fist bump. Hey, come on, man. Come on, man. I ain't trying to hear that shit.
Look, and again, back to what I said, the truth comes from here. The truth comes from here, like I said.
Yeah.
So that excludes Fox too. That excludes Fox too. I say Joe Rogan ain't Fox. You know what I'm saying? All these podcasts where they did all these.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then she tried to run the Shannon Sharp, you know what I'm saying, to Club Gay. You know what I'm saying? And bro, that ain't work either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, like, man. I mean, if people don't learn how to move with because I mean, that's the future.
Very good. I mean, that is a good point. And that just the I know Tub, we talked about this too, like when we're doing these the shows here on the YouTubes and stuff like that, like that's where we're getting the real discussion. Just like tonight, you know what I'm saying? We're getting that real discussion tonight. And look, it's two. I mean, we've been going for two hours and 45 minutes. I feel like I've been sitting here for 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I watch. I've learned more, appreciated more so far tonight in these 2 hours and 45 minutes than I did watching anything on regular TV. You know what I'm saying? Because this is it's coming from there. You know what I'm saying? It's coming from the people that are really on the ground. You know what I'm saying? And this, I mean, that's pretty much my take on that. Is that you know just like some people have been telling me, don't stop doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? The people gonna hear it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing for you guys, man. Let's not stop doing what we're doing, man, because all this, what we're discussing, man, is what people really need to hear. You know what I'm saying? So we need to really try to get people to start listening to guys like us and listen less to the guys that they be idolizing on these channels. You know what I'm saying? That's what we really need to get it, man. So then we can do the things like we were saying about insulating and moving forward. I mean, we talked about what black banks, stuff like that. Like how often do we even hear people saying that on TV? You know what I mean? We're talking about this stuff now, brothers, man, and I mean I love it, man. So man, and I love the passion that all of us have with this thing, man. I mean, it really hitting there, man. Because like this is some great stuff, bros. Any comments you guys want to have to kind of seal it up? Because I know you guys, I appreciate you guys putting all this time in that you're doing today, and it means a lot, man. And like, I just want people to tune into this, play it, ride down the road with it. Like right now, they can travel across the state of Georgia and listen to this episode right here. Because I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I listen to this stuff, man, over and over again. But yeah, any kind of comments you guys want to throw out there, man, to kind of
I,
put a bow on everything.
I
I
let
just
all
want
the
to
guests
say,
go
Look,
ahead.
real quick, I just want to say, Roadblock, I love you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I learned a lot from you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, like I told you, bro, I'll be real. I was never even deep into politics, but for me and a lot of people I know, there was an effect with this under this administration, that a negative effect on a lot, and like with certain things that happen to my people with the jobs, and then not to mention gas prices almost doubling, food prices going. I mean, it's like things got way more expensive, and the money ain't growing with the same way that inflation is growing. So, and I saying that have more of an effect on people than the previous 4 years. So that's what, like, to be real, that's why I tell you, Roadblock, on a lot of things, I be trolling people because I know other people be that much into it. It's funny to me, like, because what I say a lot of times, like I think about 3 people block me that wasn't even my friend. Like, I ain't never been on their page before in my life. So you blocking me for nothing. Like,
They blocked.
it's weird, but it's like, my thing is like, because just like how we talk, we cannot agree, but we still cool. You know what I'm saying? Like my thing is like how somebody that don't even know me, like, you're that worked up about, bro. I could be a fucking weirdo in here eating my toenails. Like, you care about what some strange, to me, that's funny. I think that's weird.
Yeah, man.
I just think that's weird that people will be so concerned over a stranger that you don't know, probably never will meet, and you're getting that worked up. To me, that show, like I said that when people were crying about Kamala Harris losing, that's a sign of acute mental illness. For you to pick up your phone and record yourself crying, that's a sign of severe mental illness. I laugh at people like that. I'm sorry, like, so like, I'm more of a troll, man. Like,
Yeah.
people shouldn't
Yeah.
take me.
Kamala's gonna be fine. It ain't the end of the world for her.
It is the end of her political career, that's for sure.
Nah,
What
hey,
happened to Hillary?
she'll do what everyone else does. Like, go on a circuit, make millions doing books.
Yeah.
Just ride that circuit.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
Roadblock.
That's your
Closing remarks, man.
Um, just to piggyback off of what Think Mega said, I mean, dudes was crying when Trump lost, so
I think that's hilarious too.
It's
Petty in the mouth. Why you super petty?
it's true bullshit on both sides.
I
But,
laughed at them too. I laughed at them too. In
It's
2020, I was
bullshit.
laughing at them
No.
too.
he more petty than Russell Westbrook, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Oh, petty
I would say this.
grass up here.
My dad always taught me one thing. My dad always taught me one thing.
In the ground.
Whoever is president, you gonna make your money regardless.
Yeah.
You gonna make your
There
money
you go.
regardless, right?
Yes, sir.
If you may have to be a little extra vigilant in these years, you may not. Don't know. We won't know until we see what goes down the line. I was telling a lot of people on my page, you know what I'm saying? If you scared, get some training. Train the hell up. If you scared, train the hell up. Because I don't live in the state of fear every day. I live in the state of I'm gonna get my shit done and I'm gonna get my shit done right and safe. So we as all brothers up here, this is a great forum to talk. There needs to be 1,000 people in the chat. You know what I'm saying? This needs to be heard on all levels, and I will push this out more and more for the people that I know that's in Toledo, Ohio. If they ain't doing shit when we do this again, hey, come on out and check us. So you know what I'm saying, throw us the questions, because I mean it's better for multiple minds to collide than just
yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Joe
Man,
Bob.
yeah.
Yes, sir. I would just say, you know, if you're watching this, go back and fact check everything we said, because our numbers could be wrong and everything else. Just don't take what you hear as the blind truth. Use your own critical thought, ask those questions, and have those conversations. Because again, you ain't gotta like me, you ain't gotta agree with me, but you will respect me. And you know, let's I'm gonna get my shit together tonight and try to do better. You know, I'm going to have my own voice, right?
Shit is well stated, man.
Oh yeah.
Myself.
Tub.
This conversation, we wanted to me and Mr. 411, we went back and forth on how we were gonna approach this. One thing I felt necessary, and this is something that I say a lot of times when we do the Sunday show. I don't like speaking in the echo chamber. I like having Roadblock on here. He challenges me. Iron sharpens iron. I like having Meg on here. I like the fact that he stands on his views. Opposing views and having everybody's views represented is what's lacking in America. We don't have to be red or blue. Our politics has devolved to the point of gangbanging. So when I see panels like this encourages me, because through the arguing that we did come up with some very good points and some very good ways that we can build up our communities. And I think the biggest takeaway from that is, if you don't like Donald Trump and you looking at how you can keep his policies from affecting you, build up your community.
Yep.
If you like Donald Trump, but you don't think that he gonna go all the way out with what he say he gonna do, build up your community. Because at the end of the day, you waking up. I waking up in the same uniform as Mega, as Roadblock, as Joe Va. So regardless of my political stance or what I agree with or disagree with from them, we all black. So it's imperative that we all put these petty differences aside and come together for the greater good of our people, because that's the only thing that's going to get us through whoever's in office. It don't matter who the president is. It shouldn't matter who the president is if we have our own economy, if we're working as a parallel people to what we got going on. When we get our money straight, we'll get our community straight. We're not even going to care who's president. We can operate like the rich people operate. And that should be the goal of all of us. But I do, out the bottom of my heart, I appreciate all you brothers coming on here tonight.
Yeah, hey, appreciate you having us.
Hey, man.
Y'all showed up and showed out, man. As always. You know, I see these same groups of brothers on different platforms. We go from platform to platform, having these discussions, man. And it's a beautiful thing every time we do it, man. And I, from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of Mr. 411 himself, too, I thank y'all for coming. I really appreciate it.
And I'm glad for the invite, man, for real, because I'm mad I missed last week, because
I tried to get you on the last one, man.
Yeah, and you know, it was Halloween. That's why, you know, my 5-year-old son, he loved Halloween.
Hey,
we understand.
We understand, bro. We understand.
Yeah.
We gonna keep the train. We all gonna help push and pull, man, all the way through, man. There's gonna be some times when there may be just one person talking, but like we keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Don't let it in. And hey, man, like y'all said, man. I mean, y'all summed it all up. I appreciate it, man. I learned so much. And man, let's keep it going. I want to support everything you guys are doing as well. So I'll make sure we all connect and stay connected, man. So that's the
Hey,
only way we're
send us
gonna make it, man. We support each other, bro.
hey, hold up. Send us a so the next time
Yes, sir.
that link that you sent me, I'm gonna everybody just try to share that link to people that you know, like on Facebook or something like that, to try to get more people in here. You know what I'm saying? Because it's good that we can talk amongst each other, but this conversation needs to get out to the masses. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna share this one. So then, like when we do another one, you know, because like as y'all know, my Facebook guy, I told you that I be keeping people riled up. What are you talking about? You probably talking about that. They're gonna watch it just so they can hate me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. It's a method to the madness, man. If you know when people like you, bro, they don't pay you no attention, bro. Like for real, like that's him. He doing it. Yeah, he just doing that. Like you know what I'm saying? It's like so when I made people mad, boy, my numbers popping.
Hey, man.
Hey,
That's it,
controversial
bro.
stuff, man.
All right, man. I appreciate all you guys, man. So, let's get back together, man.
It's her.
All right.
All right.
Useless.
All right. We thank everybody for tuning in. Have a good one.
All right.
Peace,
How to
everybody.
take your ass in the house, man. All right, y'all.
Peace.
You've been in that car all damn night.
All night long, man. Boy.
All right. We out, guys.
All right,
One.
y'all. Hey man, hey, I